An armed man was arrested outside of Trump's golf course in Los Angeles just before he was supposed to arrive. This man was taking photos, videos. Reports are flying across the board. We don't know exactly what is true just yet, but we're hearing some reports that he may have had body armor, that he was tracking security protocol, and they believe this may be an attempted assassination of the president, or an attempt. But we don't know for sure. Right now, it's all up in the air. Now, this happened on Sunday. As you know, it's currently Tuesday. So again, we're not entirely sure, but this news is breaking. We're going to cover it. The news literally just broke in the past few minutes. So we will be covering that. But we also have a big, big night, my friends. There are many primaries going on. And tonight in Michigan, we are expecting the socialist who claims he's not a socialist to crush the establishment Democrats. That is a major scandal right now in Ohio with Max Miller, a Republican running for re-election, who's accused of beating his wife and child. Now, he claims if that were true, he'd be in jail. But his wife's dad, his ex-wife's dad, is Bernie Moreno, a Republican senator. So Moreno's coming out being like, yeah, he's a miserable guy and he's causing my family all these problems. So this is not some like Democrat versus Republican thing. This is just like a Republican family turmoil. And now even Trump has called on him. Maybe you got to back off. We don't know if you can win this one. Well, Miller is saying he's going to stick around. We're going to cover that and a whole lot more. Before we do, my friends, we got a great sponsor for you. It is Field of Greens. Check out go to fieldofgreens.com, promo code Tim. You don't want to miss it. Most people don't look forward to their annual physical because they're nervous about what the doctor might find. That's why what you do before the appointment matters. So before your next checkup, make the one health change your doctor should notice or your money back. Make it Field of Greens. Doctors today look beyond your calendar age. They look at biological age, how healthy your cells are and your vital organs. Field of Greens was designed with that in mind. Each fruit and vegetable is doctor selected to support your cells, heart, lungs, kidneys, and healthy weight. In fact, a university study found that participants who only added Field of Greens saw measurable improvements in key health metrics. Just one change changed everything. That's why Field of Greens promises your doctor will notice your improved health or your money back. So make sure you go to fieldofgreens.com, promo code Tim, and you can get 20% off. Check it out. Try it. I'm a big fan. I like mixing it in my drinks. I like having it before and after I skate. It's always fantastic. Don't forget to also smash that like button, share the show with everyone you've ever met, and join us at timcast.com. Joining us tonight to talk about this and so much more is Priya Patel.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me. Very excited.
Who are you? What do you do?
Here. I'm a political commentator and co-host of the Pretty Political Show.
Well, right on. Thanks for hanging out. We got the boys hanging out.
Yeah, what's going on, Patriots? Just here hanging out. Phil?
What's up, Tate? How you doing?
What's up? Doing all right?
Carter?
What's up, Phil? What's up, Tate? What's up, Priya? Thanks for coming
I
back.
can't
It's good to
see
have you.
anything with these stupid glasses on.
I can see.
Like, I'm struggling to read the screen here. I got an ad read to do. These are gimmicky dicyanin demon goggles, for those that aren't familiar. I got them for Ian. Because apparently, if you put them on, you can see demons.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I saw maybe like 3 or 4 while I was doing the intro to the show. But
The bit didn't last that long since you
I can't see anything. I'm trying to read the screen, and I'm like, I don't even know which tab is which.
It does
on
look
the monitor.
really thick. I'm looking at it right now. I can't
Yeah.
see anything through them.
Yeah, you're supposed to be able to see demons.
Yeah, they say the night vision that they made, like way back when, used the red infrared thing instead of the green one.
God, not to
Like
go
went down a
off,
huge rabbit hole on this.
not to go off on a tangent, but Tim, that clip you posted of Musk talking about being able to see using Neuralink to see thermal.
Read Write technology is done. It's
That will be so.
let's
sick.
just kick off the show. There's a clip where Elon says we can now write to your brain. And we've talked about read-write technologies for Neuralink, meaning they can send information into your brain. It has begun. Elon's announced it. We're going to talk about that. But hey, also, guys, check out the new Tim Pool Show. It's on Rumble and YouTube at Tim Pool Show. We have a couple of interviews that are up. We had Lily Tang Williams talking about growing up under communism, and we just interviewed Julie Mastrini of AllSides.com, and we broke down media bias. And here's the best part. She's this, neutral arbiter for all sides. They're trying to track media bias. They're not trying to be partisan. And they're just like, oh, yeah, the corporate press is absolutely biased liberal. Like every time you see it, it is biased liberal. So definitely check out the new channel, subscribe. We've got new interviews coming up every single week, plus clips from the show. But let's jump into the breaking news. We got this from CNN. Armed man arrested at Trump's California golf course ahead of president's visit. You know we love using CNN. An armed man was arrested Sunday outside Trump National Golf Club in SoCal after federal agents reported a suspicious person walking the property. The Secret Service is investigating whether the person posed a threat to President Donald Trump, a federal law enforcement source told CNN. The source earlier told CNN there was no current indication the person was plotting an attack on the president, but noted the investigation was ongoing. Deputies, now here's where it gets weird. Deputies identified the man as 38-year-old Janine, John Tale of Downey, who they said was under investigation by the El Segundo Police Department in a robbery case. Now, when we were, this story is breaking right now, and immediately the question was, is that a man named Janine?
Strange male name. Never heard it before.
Yeah, me neither. Perhaps it is not really a man.
Is it a man?
So this is the problem that I have with all of the gender can be whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and just assume this person's trans for one reason. It's a man named Janine. That's it. And I'm not trying to drag trans people, not at all. My point is this. The media, the corporate press, will use preferred pronouns and identifiers.
Yeah.
So if this was a trans man, they would just say man with the name Janine. It could also be, less likely, a biological male who calls himself Janine. And the reason I think it's unlikely is because CNN would say woman. However, because this person was arrested for trying to assassinate Trump is the presumption. We don't know that that's actually the case, but they're investigating it. This is where the media would then lie again and say man because they don't want it to be implied that it was a woman or a trans person. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
It intentionally makes it confusing because there will be instances where the media will say, if it's a positive story, this brave woman, and it'll be a dude.
Of course.
But then if there's a trans person doing something wrong, it'll be like a man.
Yeah, they'll make it super ambiguous and just go along
Right.
with the preferred narrative. of
Talking about trans people nowadays, it reminds me of that scene in The Princess Bride where Vicini's talking to the man in black and he's like, you know, but I know, and he's trying
I know that you know.
yeah,
but
like
you know
going
that
through
I
the
know.
whole meta thought thing. That's kind of what it's like trying to talk about the gender of a
yeah.
trans person nowadays.
Well,
I think
let's. I want to get to the what the person was doing. They say I'm assuming it's pronounced tail. Was taking photos and videos on the grounds and appeared to be monitoring security planning activities, according to the sheriff's department. He was arrested on charges of carrying concealed firearm and possession of prohibited ammunition. Detectives assigned to the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force executed a search warrant for Taylor's residence Monday due to the potential security implications surrounding the incident. Investigators recovered what they described as an illegally modified AR-style rifle, a .45 caliber pistol, body armor, high-capacity magazines, ammunition, radio signal devices, and multiple notebooks containing what the sheriff's department called concerning statements. Is it going to be another trans manifesto?
Probably.
Now, there's a realistic situation. This is just a guy with a really gay name because there could be like another guy somewhere in America, and his name's also Janine, and he's seeing everyone and
really offending
speculate
him.
it's a trans person right now. He's like, dude, no, it's actually like a really masculine name. That guy's definitely not trans. He's tweeting right now like, that's a super like
It's some
straight
roided out bodybuilder that's
Right.
just
Yeah, he's
defending
like,
the name
that's actually like a
Janine.
really masculine name, guy. Like that guy is actually in a worse position right now than anyone involved in this story. Is the
I shot you a dirty look because what is prohibited ammunition?
Yeah, well, you know what?
You're from California,
I was
so
gonna
translate
say,
for
these
all of us
days,
normal people.
I'm not super up to date on the exact laws regards to firearms in the United. I know that Glocks are completely banned in California, but there's for now, but there is increasingly just any modification that you basically make to a just factory gun is basically banned in the state of California. So, I mean, I feel like that's kind of an ambiguous. We'll give that a pass, I suppose. But it is just wild.
It is.
Well, of course, they're basically saying that California's banned the ammunition.
Yeah.
There's
Correct.
tons of things that they've banned. Maryland does the same thing.
Yeah.
It is worth noting, he's got a .45 caliber pistol. He's got an AR, I guess an AR style pistol, likely, and body armor. This is not just some random person walking around. I don't know if body armor is illegal in California. I know that it's illegal in New York. But yeah, like this person had some kind of plan, no matter how wackadoodle it is.
Great to highlight, though, that this guy obviously probably had nefarious intentions. Just because the ammunition was prohibited doesn't stop him from actually having it, especially if he is not someone that is really privy to following the law in the first place.
Yeah.
True.
The fact that, like I said, the fact that he had all of this stuff strongly indicates another, what's this, like the sixth attempt on Donald Trump's life?
Yeah.
I'm granted this was it's likely that Trump was never in any significant danger in this particular instance.
Rough
but still,
attempts, let's say.
Yeah, well, there's that guy, and then there was the dude that tried to run into the correspondence dinner.
Dude, that one was he had like the most Reddit manifesto I've ever seen in my life. Like, so that just happened.
Yeah.
You mean like a Ketanji Brown Jackson opinion?
Yeah, literally. Yeah, I know. He like says like, if you're reading this, Mom, hi, Mom, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Never mind.
Unreal.
I'll stop there. This is like kind of the same thing where I bet this dude like his notebook's gonna be his manifesto is gonna be the most like Reddit thing ever because there's something going on at the Reddit waffin right now. I don't know what it is. They've always been a
Reddit
problem.
Waffin?
Yeah, there's always been a problem with them, but I think I don't know if RFK is getting their HRT cut off or something, but they're starting to lose it. Like they're acting like cornered animals, and I'm somewhat being serious actually.
I believe it.
Where these guys are just like walking around like all strapped up with body armor. Oh yeah, I was just like walking by the golf course and like it's crazy.
No, I mean
It's not your typical everyday carry stuff that you would
Yeah.
have, especially in California.
Exactly.
What, you can't even walk by the president with like
You guys see that? Was it Mel Gibson on Rogan? And he was saying like he doesn't have bodyguards anymore. And Joe was like, "You're gonna get kidnapped," and he was like, if it happens, it happens."
He's like, yeah.
I totally get that sentiment because I would say not all the time, but most of the time I've got bodyguards with me, and I'm just at a point where it's like, I just whatever, dude. I'm just it's not a way to live.
just start carrying every day.
Well, you can't carry in D.C. in Virginia. Well, you can technically carry in Virginia, but in Maryland you definitely can't.
Yeah.
So of course in West Virginia, obviously, but no, we're in the quad state, so it's like
You're locked in either way. Yeah.
well, I mean, if you want to go to Maryland, you're not carrying.
Yeah.
You'll go to prison.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're just kind of locked in. You don't really.
So it's like, who wants to really live that way, walking around with bodyguards all the time? I don't.
No, nobody. Well, especially when you live in places like this. It's not like you're a celebrity in Los Angeles, and you also don't really fear for your life as a celebrity, like a normal celebrity. Typically.
No, it depends on like which degree of celebrity you are, I guess.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean,
Like John Bernthal lives out here in Maryland. I doubt, like, people probably recognize him periodically, but although he's in he's actually in the biggest movie of all time. Spider-Man's got the biggest opening. Yeah. I think if you walk down the street, people wouldn't stop him, but Tom Holland would get stopped 2 seconds every time.
But it's
totally. But it's not like it's not threats on. I mean, sure, there are crazies out there, but it's not typically threats on your life. What like you're doing is highly controversial, so you get death threats every day. That's a little bit different than I think just being a public figure.
It depends on who you are and what you're like, why you're famous, right?
I'm just saying this in the context, like Mel Gibson's obviously political, and Donald Trump is the president, and I'm just bringing it up to like this is where we're at right now. Trump wants to go golfing because I'm just looking at this golf course, being like, man, you can't even go golfing. Like you can't even just go golfing because everybody's insane because there's insane people everywhere. So,
well, then
not a way to live, man.
Either 2 or 3 of the assassination attempts have been on golf courses, right? There was the one
outside.
Immediately after Butler, and then was there another one?
There was Florida, and then this is the second one at a golf course.
Yeah.
I mean, a golf course, people assume that security is going to be less tight. But at the same time,
it's his golf course, and he's the president. Yeah. You don't think that they're? Yeah.
It's the president. I mean. Right, wrong, or different. Like the security that the president has generally is the best security in the world.
Correct,
I can't think of other heads of state. I mean, maybe some of the Saudi princes, might, like MBS might have tight security like that. But otherwise, the people that have security as tight as the president, they're probably drug lords. Or maybe someone in the the head of the IRGC,
Yeah.
But even the head of the IRGC, he doesn't have to worry about being, shot by an assassin. He has to worry about being chopped up by a Ginsu.
Did you guys see that Ukrainian drone video?
Which one?
Oh, which one?
The Ukrainian one. The one where the Ukrainian drone slammed into the beach in Russia and killed those civilians.
No.
You guys haven't seen this stuff?
No, I've not seen
Well, then there was the Russian drone that chased the guy around his fruit cart and then went zoom.
The last Ukrainian drone that I saw was literally a Russian dude. I just saw it from Funker 560, I think there are. He's like laying in the grass, fully nude, and the drone pops him and he goes flying into the water that he's laying down next to.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Looney Tunes style.
War is terrible.
I muted all of that like a year ago. I was just like, whenever someone wins, let me know.
So right now we're tracking the key primary races where we are expecting the Democratic Socialist who claims he's not a socialist, Al-Sayed, to win for the Senate race on the Democrat side. And the funny thing is, he says he's not a socialist. He's not endorsed by the DSA. The DSA is campaigning on his behalf.
Yeah.
AOC is rallying with him. Hassan Piker showed up. The dude is a socialist. Yep. This is what these people are evil. They're just liars. They want power so they can dismantle and burn down your system. But we'll be tracking this throughout the night. The polls are closing right now, and then we can, I guess, pour one out for James Carville. He'll be quitting the Democratic Party tonight, I guess.
Condolences, James Carville.
Yeah.
Look, we say it all the time here, but like, even if someone doesn't conceive of them, someone in the DSA doesn't actually conceive of themselves as a communist, like they're
Listen
still
to anything that they say.
Yeah, they're still doing all of the things that will move the left further left and will support what the furthest extremes on the left want. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, Saeed, maybe you think that people should retain property rights. Cool. All the people that you're caucusing with don't.
Yeah. And you think that you're going to be able to go up to bat against all of them? I don't think so. You're a vessel. That's all you are.
Once you get elected, they'll knife you in the back as well. Correct. Because that is standard behavior from the far left.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So the protesting and I'm not a communist. I'm not.
I'm gonna pull up this video. You can't really see much, but let's. This just seems.
This is the drone video?
Yeah, I'm surprised you guys haven't seen it. This is a Russian beach. These are civilians.
Why so? Why?
What?
And that is a Ukrainian drone slamming into the beach.
Why so? Why?
Was it intentional?
I was going to say.
Reportedly killing 3 civilians. Now, I don't think it was intentional. There's no strategic value in it. It actually just hurts Ukrainian
very good.
PR. And so what it looks like is in other reporting, they were shooting at the drone as it was passing by, damaged it, and then it went down and crashed into the beach. Of course, you're now getting pro-Russian side being like, oh, the Ukrainians are targeting civilians and, trying to play it up. But it's interesting nonetheless because the future of warfare is terrifying. We're finding out now that what the U.S.'s precision missiles are depleted. Yeah. We're basically out of key ammo, and the drones that they use are like dirt cheap. They cost I think the actual price.
Launch on like air hogs. They stomp on it and launch it over.
Yeah, like 50.
It's like air.
We're using like $1 million Patriot missiles. I'm like, oh great, yeah, this is certainly a
great replacement. Yeah,
I've heard.
It's funny because I remember air hogs.
Yeah, they're literally just launching them, and they're like, whoa, like they love that. And you watch the videos, and it's much more relatable watching Iran because they're like they blow something up. They're like,
so now you guys got to watch this other video. This one's been going massively viral as well. We got our good friend Volodymyr Zelensky saying, today many were shocked by another video of a drone safari Russians are carrying out against civilians in Kherson. A Russian drone deliberately hunted down a man selling vegetables and detonated right next to him. Now, again, I'm like, there's nothing graphic in these videos. This guy was fine. He survived, but this video is insane. Check this out.
Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
This is why.
The drone is circling around his van, trying to get him. He's trying to hide under the umbrella.
The worst kind of wasp.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Dude, watch this. Right here.
Oh my gosh.
That's insane. The dude is apparently fine, actually.
What? Bless.
Yeah, like
Wow.
it looks like it's hitting, but it's actually hitting. He got around the side and was apparently okay. I guess maybe like minor injuries from falling down or whatever, but totally fine. And there's videos after the fact of him getting up and he's okay.
Wow.
But look at that last strike. Look how crazy that is as it goes for the attack.
Dives for him.
Yep.
Oh my god.
That's insane, dude. Remember that Black Mirror episode where all the robot dogs were killing everybody?
Oh,
you guys see that one?
Yeah.
You saw it?
I haven't watched any Black.
So it's like the Black Mirror did an episode where in the future there's a few human survivors, and there is just like what is effectively Amazon mass producing products, just dumping the boxes because there's no humans left, and then it's got robot dogs that hunt you down and kill you. And there's like a lady, she like hides in a house, and the robot dog comes for her. See, the crazy thing is that's not how it's going to be. These things are going to run it and blow up.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's no reason for them to like try and shoot at you or chase you down and then like attack you with their little robot legs.
I would have like a vest with like water bottles and just splash them and then short out.
It's just not real. It's just
That's how I would go down.
never going to work. It's just not.
That's what I would do.
Like a fire extinguisher.
It would do nothing.
Yeah, just get a water gun. You're done.
To be fair, a fire
Might
extinguisher.
blind them or something.
It definitely would, bro. I'm trying to drive a Tesla on autopilot when it's raining.
Yeah.
And like every 5 minutes, it's like, it's like whenever I'm in the car, my wife hates auto drive.
Yeah, I do too.
And she's like, just drive it for real. But when I'm driving and then it goes like, burp, 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 I go, and she goes, stop doing that. She doesn't like the offensive jokes.
Every time that I'm in the car and I'm letting the car drive, my girlfriend's telling me to turn it off so she can tell me where to go. She's like, park there, go that way. I'm like, just let the
To be
car do it.
fair, the auto drive takes the long way sometimes, and it's really annoying.
It does. It does. There are definitely times where I'm like, all right, I'm taking over because I don't like what it's doing.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's doing anything wrong.
It's gonna be funny when you're in your self-driving car, and you're just sitting there, and your eyes are half glazed over as it's like going on the street, and then all of a sudden it starts blinking red and like war commandeering mode active, and the car just turns into like a field, drives full speed, and just slams into like a building, destroying it, and it's like, well, we're at war, so.
It would be nice if ICE could commandeer them and it like pops your back door open and they chuck in a guy and it takes you to like the nearest facility. I'd be like, yes, sir.
We talked about this is where we're going. You're going to be in your car driving. I think one of the main reasons they want to go full autonomous cars is no more police chases.
Yeah.
No more getaway drivers.
They've already started like the what's it called? Like the police will be able to turn off your vehicle in California. What are they called?
You're going to be in a car and cops going to try and pull you over. Like that New York case where the guy tried fleeing, then the cop pulled a pit maneuver. A little girl flew out of the car and died, and they criminally charged the cop. What they're going to do is they're going to go to conservatives and they're going to be like, we can't have this anymore. We need the police to have the ability to just shut down these criminals' cars. And conservatives are going to be like, yeah. And Trump's going to say so. And then what's going to happen is you're going to get pulled over and the cop's going to click a button, your car's going to shut off.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll drive past people with the universal remote and turn their car off at the stoplight just to prank them.
And any car that's pre-1990 is just going to skyrocket in value.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, it's going to be like actual machine guns.
Yeah. Yeah.
My car, the only electronic in my car, besides like probably some components in the motor, is literally the radio, like the CD player.
Bluetooth
Everything
is
else,
the
like
only
The
one.
what?
the CD player.
Yep.
The what player?
You said it.
And
meant it
Is that like some kind of
Compact disc?
MP3?
I love having the CDs. I like burn my own CDs, and I like the worst having to
What a
burn
nerd,
podca-
dude.
How old are you?
25.
This is the funny thing, bro. Like, you weren't alive in the CD era.
Yeah, I was.
Actually, yes, we were.
Technically
We were.
alive, but not lucid.
Oh, I'm like burning
I grew up with
podcasts
CDs.
on the CDs. That's
How old are you?
I'm 25 as well.
So,
My mom and I, we would have when I was growing up, we had 3 CDs on rotation.
well,
Yeah, well, because like I grew up
I
in,
guess
Not
kind of
radio.
like how my parents had some old 8 tracks.
because I grew up in like K-Love world too, and like that they
Yeah,
like
same.
disseminated their music through CDs like exclusively. I'll admit I missed like the 8-track or whatever. I don't know how any of that works, but
Did you have the big book of CDs?
yeah, because
Yes,
I was
we did.
homeschooled,
Yes.
so
We did.
like
Oh, yeah.
homeschoolers, that was like
Yeah.
our thing. Yeah, we had like CDs and it was all just like K-Love music.
Do you guys know there's like a dude with like 10 million subscribers and all he does is make AI 90s videos?
Jesus.
Oh my god.
It's like a video where you're like, he makes one mistake though. It's a video where it's like it's 1996. You woke up and the last 30 years were a horrible nightmare, and then like the whole room is set up with like an old Windows 95, and he's got like 90s toys and there's like posters on the wall, and then the mom yells your name. The problem is it's filmed from an adult height. Yeah, so it's like the dude stands up and you can tell from where he's standing at the door, he's like at least 5'10".
Yeah,
You're like, no.
I know that like I sound like I'm too much on Team Good Times as opposed to Team Bum Out, but like the last 30 years, like like COVID was kind of a bum out like for a couple of years there. Otherwise, the last 30 years for me have been sick. So
That's been great.
I got
look,
to fact
man.
check. The Best Buy stopped selling CDs in 2018. So I guess
There's a
yeah.
place in Winchester they sell a ton of CDs, and I go in there. I buy DVDs too. I like having DVDs.
But the last like 10, if 2018 is when they stopped, so the last 5 years of it, there was like 2 rows.
Yeah,
I
mean,
love
we actually have a CD player wired to our sound system in this building.
I
really?
love that
Yeah,
offhand
CD,
comment.
cassette, and vinyl.
Like last 30 years, been sick. You're like, hey, whoever's managing this decline, you're doing a good job. You're managing this like no one could have done.
I mean, look, man,
Figured it out. The reason why they're trying to get Gen Z to be nostalgic for the 90s is because after the fall happens, you're going to have to use analog technology, so they're trying to get you ready for it.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Could be.
I'm just a contrarian. I think that's what most of it is. I'm a contrarian. I'm kind of stubborn.
Well, I mean, there's a bunch of articles about how Gen Z
notice.
is nostalgic for an era they didn't live in.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like I don't think I'm nostalgic for the 2000s. I think it is like the 1990s.
Yeah.
Because the 2000s kind of sucked.
You missed out, bro. It was great.
nope.
Yeah.
We all had rollerblades.
I was there for the
Everybody.
2000s. It was kind of gay.
Everybody had rollerblades in 1994.
I had them, but like we didn't really use them. They were
No, 94 was like
festivals
everybody
every
was riding
summer
around
and-
everywhere all the time.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess it wasn't
razor
old enough for
scooters.
Yeah.
Nah.
That was a big thing.
See, that's a
Oh, did you
sad.
ever the ones with the sparks when you hit the back?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
See,
Oh,
that-
those
that-
ones.
that's so sad for you guys.
That's like the coolest thing ever.
That was-
And we had like if you show us like commercials that were on like read like Disney or
Yeah.
yeah like the same.
They were doing
info
like sick
commercials.
tricks on them and stuff.
The blendy pens, and then they
Yeah.
had like the foam, the
Sick
magic
tricks.
foam.
I think I've actually been considering banning scooters at the skate park here.
Oh, really?
There's no
A
more
lot of people
scooters.
use Scooters here?
No, but ever so often. And it's because there have been a few older skateboard dads who brought their kids to skate and gave them scooters. And I was like, no, hold on there a gosh darn minute. It's one thing if somebody scoots. I don't got any beef. You can just you go have fun. But when you're like an old skate dad and you're like, I didn't give my kid my skateboard, I gave him a scooter instead, I'm like, well, now you're just offending me personally.
Yeah. What about like BMX bikes? What are your
We got a couple here.
Okay.
Yeah,
sweet.
but
Those
bikes
pass
are
the
okay.
test.
Rollerblades are okay. Skateboards are fine. I don't really care about scooters, but scooters are fake. You know what I mean? Like, so scooters are culturally fake, and I'm going to explain. And this is intentionally to offend all the scooter guys out there, and I hope they share this clip because there's like Jordan Clark's incredible, and R. Willie just a master of his craft. But a lot of these guys, like R. Willie, he's gotten onto other. He's for those that don't know who he is, he's a massively famous pro athlete. Does like they do what you call it? What's that big action sports thing? Nitro Circus.
Oh.
And but he was a scooter guy, and then he started doing everything, and now he's on BMX for the most part. So the thing is, bicycles have existed for a long time. They get invented. I think like the first bike didn't have any pedals. It was like just you'd scoot yourself, and you just like kick your feet.
Yeah.
But bicycles, people have bicycles, and then what happens is someone tries to learn how to do tricks on them, and they start learning how to jump and do bunny hops. Skateboards were made in like early '60s, just taking roller skate trucks and putting them on boards. And so this was a natural thing that people decided to do. Scooters were just cheap and easy to ride and were mass produced and distributed by corporations through department stores. So it wasn't like one day some kid was like, I want to stick bike handlebars on my skateboard and be able to do skateboard tricks and bike tricks and combine it. It was parents went to Walmart and bought this product that was made by a marketing division and then got a bunch of kids to do it because it was cheaper and it was easier to ride.
So you're telling me that scooters are a psyop?
No. It's like skateboards emerged naturally, BMXing emerged naturally,
Yeah, they were like
rollerblades
cultural
emerged naturally. These were all slowly developed by individuals who started exploring what they could do on these things. Scooters were marketed by a corporation as an easier, cheaper tool for parents, and because they were like the race scooters could be folded up, it was easy to put away. So it wasn't like some dudes got together and were like, what if we made this cool thing we can ride? It was some dude in a suit who never skated, scooted, or did anything before who was like, parents are going to love this cheap toy for $20. And then got a bunch of kids to ride it around. And then those kids started doing tricks on them. Then, to be fair, they did create industry scooters, which I can respect. But I'm not a fan. I think it's fake.
What are industry scooters?
Like they have wider bodies. They're designed specifically for doing action sports.
Oh, okay.
As opposed to like scooters originally emerged as like a corporate trash product at Walmart.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it would be like if skateboarding emerged with like Walmart skateboards that break.
Yeah.
And they're just trash. But that came after the fact. So it's kind of like skateboarding gets big, and then the Walmart tries making these $20 boards that are just total trash to sell to parents, but they suck, and you can't really learn to do anything on them. Scooting emerges because the equivalent is this, low quality garbage, cheap metal thing, and then kids started using them, and from there started trying to do other things on it. So I'm not a big fan of the emergence of scooters. I like rollerblades better, but I respect it. You do a triple flare, I got no beef. That's a sick trick. That's crazy. You got balls.
Spin it around three times.
You got balls. A triple flare is a triple backflip 180.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Lot larger.
I think there's only like one guy who can do it too.
Yeah. That's
believe that.
But it is funny because a lot of these scooter guys have switched to BMX because people just don't have respect for scooters. And there's talk of bringing scooters to the X Games, but the X Games is stupid anyway. The X Games used to be great when it was just one time per year, and it was the big moment of the year. And they were like, let's do 4 of them per year. And now they're all just, it's random. It's, who cares?
I don't think I've heard about it. This is also something that's very outside of my typical interest, but I haven't heard of the X Games since like early 2000s Tony Hawk era, like peak Tony Hawk.
It was like mid 2010s when it was at its peak and massive.
Yeah.
And then what I credit its downfall to, they said, how about instead of just doing the X Games once a year like we always do? And it was something you could count on.
Yeah.
Like every year you're like, hey, we got to put on the X Games. They were like, let's do 4 or 5 of them. Yeah. And so then it was just 24/7 all day, every day. There was some kind of X Games happening, so you just never cared to tune in.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah.
The lack of frequency is part of why it's special.
Totally. Well, I mean, just like a very different example, but it's like if you had 4 Super Bowls a year, it wouldn't be as exciting, obviously.
Yep.
But that's a massive cultural
16
movement.
Super Bowls for each team.
That way everybody wins, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Every state gets its own Super Bowl.
Equality.
16 chances to win.
Everyone
Nobody would
except
watch.
for the Lions.
Nobody would watch.
Yep.
We got some of the results coming in from Michigan's U.S. Senate race. With 1% of the votes in, Abdul El Sayed is winning. Haley Stevens is going to get crushed. Isn't she just... Listen, guys, I'm going to tell you. Abdul El Sayed, okay? Have you guys watched him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is charismatic.
Yeah.
He is physically fit.
Yeah.
He has substantially more X factor and charisma than Haley Stevens. She's just a
That
miserably
was
bad kid.
one of the most pathetic debate performances I think I'd ever seen. I watched like 5 minutes. I was like embarrassed for her and turned it off.
What are the Democrats doing? Are they just like, I'm sorry, the Democratic Party's over, man.
Yeah.
The Democratic Socialists want to destroy the Democrats. They don't like what they stand for. They're not even the same political party, and the Democrats can't stop them because they're squares.
Not only that, but they don't have any kind of way to argue against what they're saying. The whole Democrat Party has been essentially moving left forever, right? They don't have the ability to stand up and say, no, this policy's bad, because the further left has no problem doing all the cancel routine on them, and the left doesn't have the courage to stand up and say, I don't care that you're trying to cancel me. The right has gotten to the point where they're like, I don't care what you call me. You can call me this, call me that, is that thing. I don't care. It doesn't matter, because the right has really gotten to the point where they kind of just say everything that you say is always the same attack vector. They've learned. And the left doesn't have the Democrats don't have the ability, because it still matters to them. Like, they're still like, oh, we're not racist. We're not sexist. We're not whatever ist. And so if you tell them, oh, you're racist, instead of shut up, you're whatever, and ignoring it, they start to defend themselves. No, I'm not. And if you start defending yourself, then you're acknowledging that maybe the person that's attacking you has some justification for why they're doing it. Maybe you've said something insensitive, and it just shows weakness. It's totally like the left doesn't have any defense from it. And that's part of why the DSA is going to take over the whole Democrat Party.
Well, this is also a very similar vessel that we've seen with the rise of communism in many other governments in many other countries and in recent past even. But the thing is that it's just been such a slow burn for a really, really long time. And you've seen the slow embrace of it because of, yes, these very, very loose, like sensitive, let me accept these people kind of unspoken policies, I guess. And it's just going to come up from under them, because what does the Democrat Party even stand for anymore, really, other than socialism? Well, that's exactly it, is that like they've tried to kind of steer away from the woke talking points because they know that it doesn't work, but they have no other choice, because they can't embrace conservatism. They can't reject the gays or anything. They have no talking points. So now it's
so easy to win as a Democrat. Seriously. Like, running as a Republican is hard mode. Like, imagine you've got 10 people in front of you, and you're like, you know what, man? I want to play on hard mode. Guys, here's the truth. We're going to have to work really, really hard. We got to roll up our sleeves. We're not always going to get everything we want, but we're going to put in an honest day's work, wipe the sweat from our brow, and be grateful. And they're going to go, but I want more stuff. The Democrat is easy mode. You just go, I'll give you more stuff.
What stuff?
Literally whatever you want. You want $1 million? Yours. Now, I'm kidding, of course.
The second I'm elected. Yeah.
The Democrats just do things like this. Your health care should be free. I'll make someone else pay for it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, okay, well, you can't. It doesn't work that way.
No.
But you can just lie. It's wonderful.
That's exactly right. And that's what they always do. That's why the rise of Mamdani kind of hit a peak and then kind of crashed and burned, because people were seeing that all of his promises were not coming to fruition. Where is he getting the money for all of these, initiatives that
Kathy Hochul.
Well, yeah, exactly. You get to bail out from Kathy Hochul. So he puts a Band-Aid on it, basically, saying that I got the deficit to zero or something. It's not, you can't have anything otherwise anyways, so the state was going to have to bail you out. But then now you see all this drama with the new taxation on the quote-unquote second homes of the wealthy non-residents of New York and all this, that, and the other. And now all of it's just a public forum where, at a height of, threats coming against wealthy people and, CEOs and all this stuff, you're just doxing all of their public addresses. Sounds like a really great idea.
Yeah, this is like a pretty, I think what's happening here is pretty grim, which is like, this is kind of what happened in 2016 into 2018 with the Republican Party, where Trump comes in, the establishment Republicans, I was outlining this on the show yesterday, actually. Trump comes in, he starts getting aligned, when he first comes in, he has no allies. So he has like basically form an alliance out of thin air, and he ends up having to cozy up with a lot of these people that hate him. But as 2018 comes around, he starts picking up some key allies. People start winning elections. A lot of the Tea Party is where he ended up finding a lot of his allies, but there was a lot of problematic. It's neither here nor there. It took about 2 to 3 years for Trump to fully be like kind of accepted in the Republican Party. And then by the time 2024 rolls around, that's the default position. So at that point, the Republican Party's been completely overhauled. No one would seriously argue the Republican Party now looks anything like it did 10, even 20 years ago. Yeah. I mean, people are like, or at war with Iran. It's like, okay, well, I mean, that's just American politics, unfortunately. But as far as policy goes, I mean, certainly on immigration, it's night and day. The fact that like the Republicans are now anti-free trade and the Democrats are socialists or pro-free trade is like hilarious. So you're seeing like a lot of these complete orientation. What I'm trying to get at here is, no, the Democrats like won't go away if the DSA reigns victorious. It's actually just worse for everyone, is because that means now the 60 to 70% of Democrats who have no agency and they'll kind of just vote for whoever has a D next to it will now be voting for DSA candidates. The same thing happened in the Republican Party. Like when Trump first ran for president, I vividly remember all these people that now love him were like, get this joker off the stage. Like, what's this guy's problem? And then now he wins and they're like, this guy's awesome. So the reality is the majority of your constituents will just kind of like our team players. They're just like, I don't know, I'm just down. We're patriots. Like, I'm down whoever's on the Republican ticket. The Democrats are the same thing, where 60 to 70% of them are just like, I don't know, I hate Republicans. I think conservatives are evil and Trump's Hitler. I'll vote for whatever has a D next to it. So what we're seeing here is actually really bad. Like, this is just a really bad situation. The Democrats aren't going anywhere. They're just going to get more radical.
Correct,
yeah. But hold on. So the most anti-Trump demo is 70 plus.
Yeah, they die. They're gonna
exactly. So that means even though we have these groups, they're not going to be able to muster up a counterforce, right? When the 70 plus. So this poll came out from Real Clear Politics a couple of years ago. We talked about it, showing that the age group of 70 to 79 was the only anti-Trump decade among the age brackets. So there was like 40 to 49 was tied, but every other age group was slightly pro-Trump, except for 70 to 79, which was like 10 points minus Trump. It was the one group that was carrying it for the Democrats. When they go, the Republicans are going to get a 5-point bump.
Yeah.
Then you've got redistricting in 2030 with the census. Then you've got redistricting now they just did. Yes, there's a bunch of Kami Mamdani types that are winning the Democratic Party, but they're not going to have the numbers.
Yeah, but Trump will be gone by the time they die off. So
what?
Because like the reason why Trump is hated among 70 to 79 is because those are the people that have the most lived experience. Those are the people that like believe in the system the most. So if you were to poll who hated Obama the most during the Obama era, it was probably the oldest Republicans, and then youngest Republicans are like, well, there's probably a reason people support him or something. So younger Democrats, although they're voting for the Democrat Party, I think they can understand why people are voting for Trump a lot more than the elderly could. So I think it's just going to be, as the boomers die, the whole Trump paradigm kind of dies, and Vance will now be the most hated person, among older Democrats, because that's who gets offended the most by any infraction. It's like, these are my last years on earth, and you're spending it trying to keep me out of power. That's evil. Or if you're 30, you're like, I don't know, I'll just try to win in 10 years. Like, people, a lot of people have lower time preference or higher time preference.
The 70 to 79 are aging out. They're dying. The younger boomers are slightly more conservative. It's not about Trump. When you talk to your average Trump supporter, it's not about Trump. Don't get me wrong, Trump's got his culty people, but I've interviewed tons of people on the right. And I tell you this, I told the story back when I was in Dallas, and I had an Uber driver, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to vote for Trump. I just wish he wouldn't talk like that, but I can't vote for a Democrat. So when these super anti-Trump boomers are gone, it's not even about Trump. People are going to be more happy to vote for J.D. Vance. There's going to be a ton of people who be like, oh, he's great.
No, I'm just saying, I just think like when that comes along, Trump is out of office and those people die. That's when you have this moment where people look back and they're like, actually, Trump was funny. Trump was like, you're going to see this massive.
Yeah. Correct.
My point
to Nixon or to Reagan.
My point is the DSA is powerless.
No, the DSA is it doesn't matter. It's once they win the Republican or once they seize the Democrat Party, there's no going back.
Yes, but there's not enough of them to win general elections like senators and the presidency.
The majority of voters that are voting Democrat aren't like totally bought in on Joe Biden's policy. They're just like, I hate the Republicans. And the same thing with Republicans. Most reason people are
right. And my point is, again, the anti-Trump faction is dying off, and every other demographic leans in favor of Trump. You get rid of Trump, these people are more comfortable voting Republican. My point is, with redistricting, with the census, and with the fact that the only anti-Trump age group is dying off, you're going to be looking at a +5 GOP for the next 10 years.
I don't know. I mean, while it is true that maybe for like hatred of Trump, the older the population, well, it's like Gen X, I think Trump performed the best with like 50 to 59, but older than that, he won. And then below 50 years old is where he started losing. And then the younger it got, that's when he would lose worse as far as like the last election. And like, let's not pretend that once Trump's gone, Vance gets in, you'll see these articles from the Atlantic, like, we all got to admit Trump was kind of funny, but then the next article will be why Vance is worse than Hitler. Like, they're just going to spin up the exact same.
I think it's going to be.
So again, real quick, specifically referring to this from 2025, oldest voters strongly disapprove of Trump. So 18 to 29, Trump is +2, 30 to 39, +9, 40 to 49 was a tie, 50 to 59 was +3, 60 to 69 was +5, 70 plus was -14.
Yeah, but this is a year ago. Things have changed a lot in a year.
Sure. But the point is, we can look at some anti-Trump sentiment is fine. If we shift everything a little bit back, when Trump is gone, it's going to jump way back up.
Well, I don't think people are to the right of Trump, though. That's why I think they're disapproving him because they're to the left of him, like younger people. Like younger people are just scandalized.
Okay, so why did 18 to 29-year-olds approve of Trump by +2 1 year ago?
Well, it's because the podcasting was huge at the time. Like there was a lot of high, the vibes around Trump and like the beginning of his term were super high. People were excited about him. They hated Joe Biden.
Why? But like what for what reason?
COVID, I think primarily. I think a lot of young people were just scandalized by COVID. The economy was completely seized up because inflation was high.
And so what changed to where they're now, you would argue they're now anti-Trump?
Well, you saw among young people, his approval rating among young people started like declining around the new year, and then now into the summer.
Why?
Tanked.
I actually think, contrary to what you think, I think it is because a lot of young people are to the right of Trump.
No, that's not reflected.
But hold on. What is the reason?
The Minnesota ice raid was when you started to see it slip, and then when Iran kicked off, it just fell off a cliff. And then
when Trump is gone, and it's J.D. Vance, and J.D. Vance comes out and says, counter to these things, are these young people who supported Trump when he was anti-immigration, anti-COVID lockdowns, anti-woke, J.D. Vance comes in and says, we're going to do better than Trump, are they going to turn and look to the DSA and go, yeah, but we want to trans the kids?
Well, it depends. I mean, it depends on the state of the economy, really. I think the primary reason why young people were swinging to the right was the economy. Because if you look at like polling on certain issues, young people are not like this base right-wing generation like people think they are. Like they're still to the left of every previous generation. It's the most non-white generation in history. So when it comes to like immigration, you might get an answer on illegal immigration, but on identity issues, it's going to be terrible. So I guess what I'm trying to get at is like, young people, it's not this like simmering right-wing revolution like ready to happen. It's like, yeah, you might get like few election results if the economy's bad, but JD Vance has a lot of work to do. This is why JD Vance is purposely sort of trying to keep the podcasters on his side. Like, your Theo Vons, he's playing, people are like, why is he so soft on Tucker? I'm like, because he needs those guys. Those guys are really popular with young people. When he goes into the next primary, he needs to make sure that young people don't hate him. That's who staffs your campaign. That's who provides your activist base.
I mean, if the argument is J.D. Vance will not be principled on his positions and is going to cater to people who don't like what the administration is doing, then we might as well just lay down the sword now and say, okay, the U.S. is over.
Well, that's how politics works to the vice president, is you have to emphasize the administration's victories and you have to downplay the administration's failures.
Well, my point is largely just the United States is conquered if that is the case.
Well, that's the natural state of democracy, right? Is you always have to put your best foot forward.
No. Like, what I'm saying is when you have people that are catering, saying things like, Islam's good, actually. And then you get a vice president who's like, I'm going to run for office and agree with that. It's like, okay.
Well, I'm not saying he agrees with that. I'm just saying he's not bringing like the knives out for Tucker because I think he does realize like there's something here salience.
If J.D. Vance needs the Islam is okay crowd to win, we're already conquered.
Correct.
Well, I agree. I mean, I do agree that like that's disheartening, but I don't like Tucker's turn at all. He's breaking my heart every day. But I think people are like into his stuff for different reasons, and he just has a lot of inertia. I don't think people are into him because he's pro-Islam. I think that's the one critique I hear of him. Actually.
New York Times ran this hit piece. It's really funny. Something interesting happened. Forbes ran the top podcasts of 26, and the New York Times ran a the right-wing ecosystem is collapsing. And they came out like almost the exact same time. And I just love the coincidence of it. That the top 20 podcasts are largely apolitical except for Tucker. And Candace is excluded from the top podcast, that's how you know it's just fake.
Yeah.
They're creating an A list of this is the acceptable narrative machine. Mm-hmm. And then you have the New York Times did the funniest thing ever. Benny Johnson made a hilarious point. The New York Times showed from the end of 24 till today, viewership dropped. And he was like, that's like saying soccer content isn't getting as much views because the World Cup ended. Like,
yeah,
the election was 2 years ago. We're not in an election cycle anymore. Of course, we had way more views in 2024. Mm-hmm. But simultaneously, the media is, the New York Times claiming all the right-wing media is down in views. It's just not true.
No.
And viewership's down, don't get me wrong. But they're falsely conflating the election cycle. But at the same time, Forbes is also creating this list of top podcasts, which excludes all of the top podcasts, which are very political, which are literally in the top charts. Like Candace Owens being the obvious one. Weirdly, like political, kind of. But, like, how is she not in their top list? The numbers are clearly not real. It's narrative control. So the one thing I will bring up that's really interesting is Ben Shapiro's getting, I think, a million views. He gets views per episode of his podcast.
Yeah, well, it's syndicated on the radio, too. So Ben Shapiro...
Well, radio's gone.
Dude, radio still has a lot of people listening.
Nope.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, in the last 5 years?
Nope.
That's why they're making so much money still.
They are not.
Well, not the Daily Wire, but
nobody's making money on radio.
They're really not making money. You see shows dropping left and right from radio.
I'm not saying it's like it used to. I'm just saying it still counts for viewership.
No, it doesn't.
Ben Shapiro?
Ben Shapiro's not getting radio play.
Look up what he's getting syndicated on the radio. I'm just saying numbers.
So, like, when we're talking with our production company, and we've gone over this with, like, the Rumble guys. We've gone over it with a couple of other radio networks. And we were like, would it make sense to get Timcast IRL syndicate on the radio? And they're like, we think we could probably get you maybe, like, $500 a week.
There's no money in it. I'm not saying there's money in it. I'm just saying as far as, like, raw numbers go, there's a bunch of half-asleep boomers.
No. You're wrong. They're talking about
the radio?
On the radio, they said viewership right now for terrestrial radio is in the thousands. You will be lucky to pull in a couple $100. So when I interviewed Jason Ellis, I don't know if that was on the show on IRL or the interview that's yet to be published, but he said he was on Sirius for 15 years. I think he said Sirius, right?
I think so. I think that's what he said. Yeah.
And it was crazy. He would be like, hey, I'm doing a live show. They'd sell like, we sold out the House of Blues. It's crazy. We're doing 6 figures. And then when COVID hit, they said nobody listens to the radio anymore, so the show's over. Literally after COVID, radio dropped to like almost nothing. So I was recently talking with a guy who's got a syndicated radio show who I'm not going to bring up his personal. This is literally I'm talking about in the last month. A guy with a syndicated radio show said he had to basically drop it as a priority because it's pulling in like $1,000 a month. They just don't care anymore. The viewership is gone. When people get into their cars, they're not listening to the radio anymore. They're putting on Pandora, they're putting on Spotify, they're putting on podcasts. Radio is just out.
I wonder if the reason that it dropped so much during and then after COVID is that during COVID people weren't driving anywhere, so therefore you weren't getting in your car to turn on the radio.
That was the serious thing.
And then you obviously transitioned to listening to podcasts, listening to other streaming services, and then you just never reverted back to listening to the radio.
It was that and old people dying.
Correct. Yeah.
Radio has always been captive audience because people drive and the radio instantly turns on.
Yeah.
But once cars went digital and started incorporating things like Sirius, then terrestrial radio started shifting to like subscription radio.
Yeah.
And then again, like interviewing with Ellis, it was crazy because he said it was like a switch. 15 years. He's on this with one of the top radio shows, getting millions of viewers. COVID happens, and they say, literally, because no one's driving, our viewership, our listenership is gone. It's like zero now. And so after COVID, they said people never came back.
Yeah, makes sense.
And so he's like, the Ellis show is over. And that's a crazy thing, because I was talking about this, and I was like, bro, it's crazy that in like a month, you went from having one of the biggest radio shows in the world to it just being gone overnight. And he was complaining too. Maybe complain's not the right word, but he was like, it's funny because people will hit me up and be like, man, I used to listen to your show all the time. And he's like, it's still there. You can listen to it right now. Like, why did you stop? And it's because habit.
Yeah.
The way people consume media changed in an instant.
There was
ain't no radio no more.
Just I guess what I was trying to get at is clearly no money in it, and if you're trying to like go on to the radio, that's stupid. But guys like Mark Levin, I mean, he's still pulling about 12 million weekly listeners on terrestrial radio. Again, that's people that aren't listening. It's half in.
I don't buy that for a second.
I mean, it's just data. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Sean Hannity. You wonder why these guys are still relevant. Like Sean Hannity, I guess because of Fox, but like Mark Levin, who cares? Glenn Beck, who cares?
Mark Levin's the Sunday night host on Fox.
Yep.
He's got like the lowest rated slot. To be fair, maybe like even Sunday morning is going to do better than the Sunday
the
mid-evening.
Westwood One primetime slot, which is going to like, I don't know, probably 300 terrestrial radio stations. It's like you can pull together 12 million Americans. Again, are they listening to the show? That doesn't matter. He's just trying to put up numbers. Because like people are listening to this show, I presume so. But radio is a little bit different. But like even when Rush Limbaugh died, I think he was getting like 20 million. I mean, that was
this is the funny thing about the Forbes top podcaster list. Is that it's actually, let me pull this up because I think it's actually, maybe it's not interesting to you guys, but I find it absolutely fascinating to track this stuff. So check this out. This is Maxim running the story on it. Forbes ranks highest paid podcasters. Joe Rogan, Kelsey Brothers, Alex Cooper, Dax Shepard make the list. So here's a partial list. I'm going to tell you straight up. Joe Rogan doesn't make money. Joe Rogan don't make money. I'm just letting the suspense build up for a second. Okay. Joe Rogan had a deal with Spotify announced by the Wall Street Journal that they're going to manage his ads for, I think it was a 3-year deal at $250 million, which means if Joe Rogan is getting $82 million, according to a Forbes actual analysis, this means that Joe's making his money off of a license from Spotify, not from the ads, because if his ad revenue surpassed the $250 guarantee, it would be higher than $82 million. So it being at $82 million, which is less than a third of $250, indicates that Joe Rogan doesn't generate more revenue on his show than Spotify pays. That means the Joe Rogan Experience is a loss leader for Spotify to build up its stock and also to establish itself as a podcast platform. I'll also add this for the Jason and Travis Kelce show. At least on YouTube, a lot of their shows and clips do substantially less than we do. Yeah, if they make more than
that, I believe. I was going to say, I don't think anyone listens to that.
So again, the $35 million, this is loss leader. I would actually go and estimate all of these shows are getting paid as loss leaders. Whereas Timcast is an independently published company, we have to make more money than we're spending, otherwise we cease to exist. Whereas these shows make less money than they're getting paid, and they exist because people are paying for it.
Well, and some of these are radio shows they've just converted into podcasts over time, which kind of shows that, like, you know, like for example, The Breakfast Club. I think it's like a big like, black people show, and it's like it was on the radio for years, and then there's like, I don't know, just turn it into a podcast.
Well, that's
how else would you describe it?
That's the appropriate shift.
Black people show.
Black people needed a show.
Yeah.
So that's the trick of how they rank the top podcasts. I'm not trying to drag Joe. I believe that Joe Rogan's ad rates the last time I was looking into it is 50 to 100,000 per read. So if you at the top of the Joe Rogan podcast when he's shouting something out, if you want him to shout at your product, it's 50 grand.
Jeez.
That's my understanding. I could be wrong, but I believe that's the number. And he does like 3 or 4 of these.
Yeah.
Now, getting $82 million off a $250 3-year deal, they're paying him $250 over 3 years. He's not making his show does not generate more revenue through audience than Spotify pays, and that's true for probably every single one of these.
This reminds me of the debates back in the day when, when like DJs were first coming onto the scene, like Dead Mouse or Skrillex or these guys, and they're like, what do they do when they're performing live? What do they just press play? And it's like the same thing where I think a lot of people are like, what are these podcasters doing? They're just talking and recording it. It's like, what does that even mean?
Actually, no, David Guetta's ending racism.
I suppose the idea is that Spotify might probably in the big picture makes way more than Joe brings in. because of paid accounts. So like people sign up for Spotify, paying $10 a month or whatever, and then they don't just listen to Joe Rogan. They'll listen to other Spotify shows. So whereas one person might only be worth 10 cents to an advertiser, that one person listens to 3 different Spotify podcasts, generating 30 cents out of one. Joe's not going to see that money. Spotify will. They pay the minimum guarantee to Joe. But again, the point being, all fake. And I'll stress, Ben Shapiro's numbers on the podcast side are insane. The New York Times reported this, that Ben's getting like he gets like 1.2 million per episode, some psychotic number.
This is what I mean when like people are kind of detached from like how normies think, where like you go on Twitter and it's like, clearly Ben Shapiro's dead in the water or whatever, and it's like, I don't know, man, he's like kind of crushing, like whether you like it or whether you like his takes or not.
They just don't like Ben Shapiro,
But this is crazy. They're going on YouTube and they're being like, Ben only got 200,000 on his latest podcast episode, and it's because podcasts don't publish the numbers.
Yeah.
And so then my understanding of Ben's numbers, so the New York Times published analytics for a bunch of different platforms. Apparently, they say Candace Owens gets about 100,000 downloads per podcast episode, which is microscopic. Like that's about what we do on a podcast. Timcast IRL does about 100K. So I find that really hard to believe, but it could be why Candace is not on the list of the top podcasts, because while she does really well on YouTube, she does not do that well on the streaming platform.
Completely different worlds. The people that are just like kind of just trying to keep up with the news on their drive into work, and then the people that are like, I wonder like if Morocco was involved in this latest.
Well, here's the thing: a view on Apple is worth something like 10 times a view on YouTube.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
because you're like an active listener versus like I just need something on while I'm eating. So
I honestly I don't agree with that. I don't see that. Somebody who's watching a video and they're sitting there watching you do the ad read, that should be more valuable than a podcast listener for whatever reason. But podcasts, like when we look at our numbers, Spotify, Apple, and audio-based platforms, even though some of them are now video-based, the revenue's 10x. It's like the ad reads that we do on the audio side for 1/10 of the views are the exact same. It's nuts.
Yeah.
So that's why I can see like straight podcast download numbers. Some of this makes sense, but I do know. What I will say is, without spilling the beans on anyone's private deal, I actually know a secret about some of these deals, so I won't name anybody. So when you see like someone's bringing in $30 million and Forbes goes, look at the $30 million they're getting paid, oftentimes these are tricks to make lists. What they'll do is a network will have a contract where we're going to pay you $30 million and then you owe us for our distribution of your show. Yes. So they pay a flat rate to the podcaster, who then who gets invoiced for distribution and ends up paying back 25 million of the 30. Then they can publicly announce so-and-so was signed for a $30 million deal.
Well, and a lot of the times, because I've talked to people that have similar deals, they'll handle everything on the invoicing and the billing, the actual podcaster itself kind of on the back end, but the podcaster will get a very, very minimal salary every month as like their payment. And then the idea is that they get paid out the remainder of what they might be owed per the deal at the very end of the contract. But a lot of the times.
I just have this question, though. For a lot of these guys, you don't see them, like you don't see the lifestyle that should come with what they have. So I want to explain. The average salary, we talked about this last week, but Priya, I'll ask you, what do you think the salary of the average American millionaire is? How much money salary do they make per year?
Oh, million? Well, probably depends on where you're living, but probably somewhere around like 200K.
It's 160.
Okay.
Yeah, and then depending on how you want to break it down, if you want to include like the ultra wealthy millionaires, it goes up to like 185.
Of course, yeah.
$160,000 a year is the salary for the average American millionaire. There's about 23 million millionaires. The average net worth is between 1 and 3 million, and they are making 160K. So when you see somebody who's got 24 million per year, that's owning private jet levels of wealth. Why aren't these people? I mean, for one, maybe they're keeping it a secret. I imagine that when Joe Rogan went to DC for UFC, he's on a beautiful Gulfstream or something, PJ, or better than that. Homie could probably charter a 747 for $200,000 and not blink.
Yeah.
But a lot of these people, you don't see the lifestyle, and maybe it's just they keep it a secret. The question I then have is like, what do you do with that much money?
Yeah, well, and like, okay, sure. Let's just give the benefit of the doubt. Maybe half of them are more modest, want to keep their life and their lifestyle private. That's being generous, but you sure don't.
I gotta be honest. If you're bringing in $20 million a year and it is just going to the podcaster because they're claiming it's the podcasters getting paid,
yeah.
that's how you know it's a scam.
Yeah.
This is my point. Bro, a charter flight round trip, like a private jet, coast to coast, is going to cost you between $100,000 and $200,000, depending on the plane that you get. If you're doing $20 million per year, you're just gonna buy a private jet.
Yeah.
You can get a good private jet, like a used one with a pilot. It's going to cost you about $1 million. Boom, you own it. And then your total costs, you're going to have to hire a guy. It's going to cost you maybe like $20,000, $20,000 to $30,000 per month for your staff. And then it's going to cost you a couple grand per trip. You own the jet with fuel and landing between if you're flying like New York to Florida, it's going to cost you $3,000. New York to LA is going to cost you 10 grand. If you're making $20 million per year, you own a Gulfstream and you are flying around a private jet whenever you want. You've got private staff. You've got a mansion. I don't think any of these people actually make this money. I think it's all a lie. And for that matter, I'm going to add this to the list because you watch, if you ever watch these high stakes poker games, I'm a big poker guy, where they're gambling 500 grand, fake. Ain't no way. I don't believe it for 2 seconds. I think all these numbers are fake. I'm going to say it again. The average millionaire in the United States has a net worth of $1 to $3 million and makes $160,000 a year. They're millionaires because they manage their finances very well. There is this idea that people have in their minds that millionaires are making $1 million a year, that they're like this is not true. Joe Rogan's the only one I think probably makes sense. 82 million.
I would agree with that. And then the Call Her Daddy girl, I believe, would probably rightfully be on that list. The rest of them.
No, I don't believe that for a second.
You don't?
Nope.
Oh, I think she's probably printing.
Maybe because Alex Cooper's Call Her Daddy is I believe it was a 3-year $100 million license.
Something like that. Yeah.
And so again, her show's probably not making anywhere near 32 million, but they wanted to buy her name.
Yeah, I don't. She's probably not making that money. She probably would still be on this hypothetical.
No. She's getting. Basically a network is paying her $30 million a year, $32 million a year, even though like someone's buying her name. That's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like her and Rogan, I do believe makes sense. I think you're right. Charlemagne has a company, so he's probably making a bit less than this. Mm-hmm. For Alex Cooper, the 32 million, probably most of it goes in her pocket. For Joe Rogan, the 82 million, almost all of it goes in his pocket. Like the rest of them, I just don't think is legitimate.
Yeah, I would
Bill Simmons, he has his own company too, so he's probably making that himself because he has like the biggest sports podcast in the world.
Maybe. If it's independently published, for sure. But the other thing to consider too, like what I will say is, depending on how you cut the numbers, if we go by raw numbers, then Timcast Media is bigger than some of these shows in terms of revenue. But we have to pay out lawyers, vendors, staff, facilities, internet. So I'm personally not getting anywhere near that amount of money.
Yeah, that's all really.
It's a shame.
I'm getting way more.
Well, I mean, we get
really, you're not making that much.
As far as I know, off what I can see, we get way more views than the Kelseys.
Oh, I believe that. That's a complete psyop.
Never in my life.
No, like he's got some. They got some episodes on YouTube with 700K. That's not bad. They got some with 200.
There's a whole other world out there that I don't even. I try to be active, like the blind spots. I'm like, maybe people are listening to radio. I don't know who is like.
Are people really listening to Amy Poehler?
No.
Is she the girl from Parks and Rec?
Yeah.
SNL Unfunny?
Yeah, it's not sure.
Quark Chungus kind of thing?
I mean, maybe this is like replaced radio. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of people that are like basically lobotomized.
Here's the question. Here's what I'll do. When I get in my Tesla, my phone auto connects and then just plays my like Spotify or whatever playlist, plays music. So it's basically playing, I don't know, like Soundgarden. Just old man music from the 90s. But what I'll do is I'll click podcast and see what comes up.
Well, this is
because we're on there for sure.
Well, this was always the theory for the longest time of why like some advertisers were skeptical of YouTube was because of the autoplay. Like people are like, oh, a lot of these videos are getting padded views from the autoplay because it'll be like a video essay that's like 40 minutes long, right in the sweet spot. So of course YouTube's going to promote it, but then you probably click off for like 10 minutes. You're like, this sucks. Like I don't care about whatever this video game is covering or whatever. But it's like, yeah, that was the theory for the longest time is that sweet spot videos were just getting hit with autoplay and it was like padding their views. So
this is interesting. Syed's dropping
a little bit.
Stevens is closing the ranks. This is really interesting. A bunch of districts are starting to flip closer to Stevens, which is really surprising. Look, I'm not a big fan of the guy's politics. I think he's lying about being socialist or whatever. But I thought the guy had way more charisma than Stevens. But we'll see. It's not over yet. But with 17% of the votes in, Stevens is down only 20K, and it's closing. It's closing the gap.
My money's on Mallory from the outside.
Dropped out.
Go for the long shot.
Yeah.
There's going to be 400,000 ballots are going to come in at 3 a.m. mail-in votes.
Yeah. All for Mallory.
All for Mallory.
And they're all going to be signed with X's and Kirby's.
We're flipping the script on them.
That's right.
Days.
Interesting.
I know, Stevens, her pathway to victory is basically just Oakland County, which is very suburban, still your kind of union Democrats, and she needs the black vote, and the black vote's probably going to swing to her. So that's kind of
I'd be curious to see. How do I find this? I want to find the. Let's do Democrat primary. They got the Minnesota Senate. Oh, margin of victory. No, we don't want that. Let me try and find this one. Did I say Minnesota?
Yeah.
Michigan.
That is interesting how they had him tanking now from winning by over 15%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is right. So I actually think Stevens might take it. And this is where it's interesting because if you check Kelshi, they got Syed at 99.4. Here's what's crazy. He was actually 99.9 for a second. Now it's dropping. Bro, value bet. Value bet.
Go bet now. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, what's my risk, right? Let's do some quick math. I'm going to pull it up right here. And let's see what we got going on. Where's they changed the app? Why can't I search anymore?
The return would be crazy.
Selling $100 for 99.5.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Democrat primary, Michigan Democratic Senate nominee.
You got 9 to lose.
Haley Stevens. I'm going to put
5
yes. Insider trading is prohibited on Kalshi. Do not trade if you have insider information on this market. Slide to it.
I've been to Michigan. We can't do it. I went to Michigan one time.
$100 pays out $12,622.
Yeah.
Really?
It's called the value bet.
Yeah, I wish I had a call.
I mean, look at this.
One real quick.
she's closing the gap. She's 6. What is she? 8.8? No, 7.8. Where's she at?
Well, I think that's what the polls had her at. Was about 6 to 9 point spread.
Really?
Yeah, depending on what poll it was. So I don't know why people were betting he was going to win by 15 plus.
If El Sayed wins, Hassan's going to be insufferable.
Oh, it's getting better. It's up to 100 is now 13,357.
Oh.
Let's see. What if I say Sayed's going to win? I put $100 down.
Here's what's
I'll win 37 cents.
So
yay.
Oakland County is 60% in, and that's going to be the county she likely performs best in.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the Detroit suburbs, like Troy.
No, that's hard Detroit.
No,
she's winning in Detroit.
Wayne is Detroit, and Wayne is that'll be the black vote, so she'll win that as well.
Where's Flint?
And then what? Dearborn is where Syed is winning.
Yeah, Ann Arbor. He's going to crush in Ann Arbor.
He is.
Grand Rapids, he'll do well. Where all the more progressive elements are.
Yeah, but the urban center. I mean,
that carries a lot of the vote. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's a lot of these disgruntled old boomer former union people who are just I want to be with the times. I'll vote for Al Boo-Doo-Doo-Doo or whatever his name is.
Al Boo-Doo-Doo-Doo.
Who's the guy with the Star Wars name?
What's the guy? He sounds like didn't he hijack that flight? I'll vote for him.
Well, what you're supposed to do, people don't know this, is that you're supposed to vote for the guy with the funniest name and hope they win.
That's right.
Fair enough.
It's a new trick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you go to the horse track, the strategy is to vote for the horse with the funniest name. That's it. Nothing else.
What was the execuate? Was the horse with that?
Secretariat.
Secretariat.
The horse that won by 30 furlongs.
It was the
30 lengths.
The last 5 derbies. It's
not furlongs. That's insane.
It's the last 5 derbies. It's the majority of the field is descended from him as well. He's
is it really?
Yeah. The last one, it was every single horse but one was descended from.
Man. All because he had one good race.
Yeah, I think it was the movie.
Could you imagine just you ran fast one day and they were like, would you like to have sex with all these women? You're like, I guess.
Secretariat won. He won the Triple Crown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By 30 lengths. Some insane number.
Well, so the Triple Crown is actually all 3 races.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Belmont.
Yeah.
Kentucky.
It was the
The Preakness, the Belmont, and Kentucky Derby.
It was
Oh,
the
man,
Derby
Steven's
that he
starting to
won by
lose
30
Detroit.
lengths, right? Or
Yeah,
which one was it? Yeah.
world record time. Of
McComb just
1.5.
flipped for Syed.
So yeah, I think that's like northern counties.
Yeah, no value bet.
A lot of Arabs. up there.
No value bet.
Take it back. Take it back.
Oh, wait, Syed's dropping. Holy crap. What? He's at 99.1?
$100.
It's tightening
Yeah, he's
up.
at 99.1.
He might-
People are blasting off for Haley Stevens right now.
Might crack 1%.
And for some reason, Mallory McMorrow actually, too.
Well, she dropped out, so
She did?
Yeah.
Okay, $100 on McMorrow pays $100,000.
Myself over here.
all these
Telling
voters.
you,
You
man.
know what? I hate both these people. I'm voting for the lady that dropped out.
Yo, I'm watching right now. There's like, someone put $1,000 on McMorrow to win.
Hey.
Hey, I mean, look,
What is going on?
That happened in.
These
so
are the people listening to the Kelsey pod.
$1,000 bet causes a slippage where your max payout will be $350K.
What? Crazy.
Let's
Tell you
do
what,
a
man.
$500 bet.
This is why I can't
Yeah,
bet. I don't understand
slippage.
any of it.
On Mallory, what?
That's why I can't bet because I don't understand any of it. I'm like,
So $450 on McMorrow gets you $350. You don't got to bet any higher than that.
I just got the P&L for the tour, and we did okay, man. Maybe I'll do
I'll
that.
toss a little.
Yo, this is actually pretty crazy. Stevens is actually going up in the prediction markets for some
I
reason.
just saw it tick up. Yeah.
Telling you, man.
People are starting to look at this and they're like, "Hey, these results aren't what we thought they are." She's almost at 1% to
how much
win.
does $1 pay out?
$1 will pay out $116.
You know what? I'll check.
I'm gonna-
I'll
get my feet wet.
$1.
You know what? I'll bite. What's a bet?
$1.
$1.
Very good.
Do 20.
Don't notify me. I want to forget about
Do
this.
20. I want to forget about it. I'm gonna treat it like your stocks.
There
How
you
much do
go.
I have in my cow sheet? Ooh, I got 5 cents to play around with.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
I need to get a Kalshi account.
She's slipping. She's gonna lose.
It's over.
She's now she's trailing now by 21,
The West is
where she was trailing by 20 just before. So,
Rick.
and she's starting to lose Detroit. So this guy's gonna win. Let me. I want to pull up this video actually.
So I could get $7 on my 5% bet. 5 cent bet.
Do
There you go.
some
are you
El
placing,
Sayed's
Tate?
best moments.
No, well, I want to pull this one up because I this is why I get mad at Republicans. So we've got this video, and it says from RNC Research, Michigan Senate candidate Abdul Al Sayed says every third video on his Instagram timeline is an OnlyFans model and blames the algorithm. The thing is, I actually look at Instagram. I look at on Instagram, right? Every third video that scrolls down is going to be some OnlyFans model.
Haram.
So let me play this.
Like you think about if you're on Instagram, like, my team has access to my Instagram account. And like the things that I actually look at on Instagram, right? Of course, we get served that on your For You page. But then like every third video that scrolls on its own is going to be some OnlyFans model. And it's because it clocked me as being a 40-some-year-old man. Like you think about.
So he's getting ragged on now by conservatives because they're trying to insinuate that it's because he's looking at OnlyFans models. But this is not correct. And I'm like, why are you ragging on him for pointing out something that he's right about? So don't give them. He's correct, and he's complaining about OnlyFans. So like you're going to go now as conservatives and be like, he's complaining about OnlyFans models. Maybe you shouldn't look at him. It's like, well, I'm also going to complain about OnlyFans models on Instagram. I guess I don't know. Here's the thing: it is not correct when people are like, you do realize that Instagram is just showing you what you want to see. No, because it shows me ping pong videos. I have never in my life played, watched, or even understood ping pong. And it just spams them to me. And I don't watch them. I don't sit there and stare at them. I scroll right past them. And they keep popping up. The worst thing now is that Instagram has been sending me dead children videos, which is one of the most shockingly offensive things they could do. Dude, you put up a video of a guy, and it's the World Series of Poker, and then you got the British guy being like, oh, Mike, he's going all in. I'm watching the full thing. Show me a snowboarder doing a 1260 flying on. I watch the full thing. Show me a video where a man's like, my child is dead. I scroll past it. They keep sending me these videos, and it's freaking me out and pissing me off. They did it to my wife, too. And she came to me freaking out, being like, Instagram won't stop sending me dead kid videos. Why are they doing this? And I'm like, let's go full conspiracy. They want to freak parents out and make them not have kids? Is that the idea? They want young people or people considering having families to watch videos where parents are like, my child is dead and I'm miserable. So they go, I don't want to do this. I couldn't imagine living that way. All I know is after a certain amount, I started hitting, this makes me uncomfortable. Stop sending it to me. And it still sends them.
That's so strange. I have heard from people that really know the social media algorithms well that Meta is one of the worst algorithms as far as actually being tailored to you, and TikTok is one of the best. So, I mean, it would make sense that people that are rejecting certain types of media probably would get fed.
Because the ping pong could just be like, well, he's Asian, just send the ping pong. You'd be into that.
And there actually are a lot of Asians playing ping pong.
Yeah, that's true.
I think what it may be is that Meta wants to experiment by sending content to you to see how you react to things that you may not normally look at.
Yeah.
I agree with that, but it's so interesting that you continuously, for long periods of time, still get sent it, despite the fact that you don't interact with it, or you report it, or say that you don't want it to continuously be fed to you.
Can you block accounts from the scrolling thing?
Can you what?
I would imagine so.
I block accounts like crazy. If I'm scrolling Instagram and I see Tonight V sent to the crowd, I block the account instantly, and then I say, stop sending me this.
Yeah, but it's just so interesting that like you either don't react with it, or you block it and it still sends it to you. Because wouldn't that hurt Meta's ad revenue and everything with the lack of retention on the videos and whatnot? That just makes no sense to me why they would continuously do that. There has to be some sort of
I'm sick of all the AI stuff too, man.
AI slop is out of control.
I don't see that kind of like that stuff just doesn't pop up in my.
I see it on X. I don't see it on Instagram.
AI slop.
Yeah.
Or porn.
Well, I don't see porn.
Well, I mean, like the OnlyFans models and stuff.
No, I don't see.
Hey, hold on. I got a question for you guys. Are you getting spammed with the "Can you reverse the rotation" videos?
No.
Like the game video thing?
No, it's a picture of like it'll be like a square spinning, and then it'll say, "Can you reverse the rotation in your mind?"
I've seen those, but I don't get spammed with.
Because I saw a post on Reddit where
it.
someone was like, "This one's really cool." And there are these illusions that originated a long time ago. You ever seen the silhouette of the ballerina?
Yep.
And so now there's a whole bunch of content like this where if you concentrate, you can flip the image and it'll spin one way or the other.
Oh, okay.
And these are getting spammed in my feed all the time now. And so I went to one, and the comments were like millions of views, and someone was like, "What are they training us for?" It's very weird that people are getting blasted this content. I think it's probably just, though, because you stare at the screen trying to flip it in your mind.
What's the conspiracy? Like, they're trying to make us smarter. I knew it.
I don't know.
That's like, I think I was saying on the show the other day, was like when chess was getting really big, and then there was people who were like, this is clearly a psyop. I'm like, what's the psyop? Like, make your pattern recognition skills better.
You know,
the government's helping you now. That's like the conspiracy. They're like on our side now.
Someone says it's 1990 and you're at Toys R Us to go buy some Christmas presents. These videos are going crazy.
Yeah,
the 90s nostalgia, depression.
The Arrested Development.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, like my idea for the hotel, the hotel where you have
About this last time.
Yeah, it's like a two bedroom. There's like 5 2-bedroom apartments, and they're all different decades. So you can go live in the 90s, and you can wake up in the bedroom. The only problem is like some dude's gonna off himself in there.
Yeah, that's me every week. It was Scott Greer made a good point where he was like contrasting like America to England in this instance. He's like, merry old England means something. It means like pre-industrial England. That's what you think of, the nice lush countryside. But merry old America just changes every 30 years to like what it was 30 years ago. So he's like in the 80s, people glamorize the 50s. Now it's the 90s. He's like in 20 years, people are gonna be like, man, the early 2010s, that was the best.
I was like Sunday night, I was telling my wife, like, hey, you want to watch a movie? And she's like, sure. And then I'm like scrolling Amazon, and Back to the Future was there, Back to the Future 2. And I said, do you want to watch a movie about a guy who goes to the future year of 2015? She was like, no way. Was that the year? I'm like, yes, it was 2015.
Wow.
They had hoverboards, and they had clothes that could like automatically.
Cars.
What was the original Blade Runner? Wasn't it like 2019 or something?
I'm not sure. I think it was.
And they really overestimated our technical prowess.
Yeah, they were like, the Japanese are going to take everything over. I'm like, oh, they can't even keep their currency afloat now.
The funny thing is, we're farther away from Back to the Future than Back to the Future was from where Marty McFly went. He went from 1985 to 1955.
Blade Runner was set in 2019.
It was 2019?
Blade Runner, yeah.
Dude, that was...
Oh, Blade Runner.
What happened
Blade
in
Runner
2019? Nothing really too exciting.
What year was...
COVID.
Oh my gosh, why am I going to blank on the name now? Steven Spielberg.
Yeah. Back to the Future follows Marty McFly traveling from 1985 to 2015.
Yep.
Wow.
2015.
And then now when we think of the future, it's just going to be like dystopia, most likely.
Well, actually, Family Guy did it really well. Stewie time travels to the future to meet his 30-year-old future self, and everything's the same.
Basically the same.
And he's like, where are the flying cars? Like, where's the technology? He's like, it's only been 30 years.
Relax.
The same. There'll just be more vape shops when I think about the future.
Nah, like Zins.
Yeah, there's gonna be like something else people will get hooked on, but it's like gonna be broadly the same, I think.
I actually disagree, and I disagree for this reason. We've got this clip of Elon Musk that I will play for you now and tell you why the future is about to get absolutely insane.
In the next 6 to 12 months, we'll be doing our first implants for vision, where even if somebody's completely blind, we can write directly to the visual cortex. But long term, you would have very high resolution and be able to see in multispectral wavelengths. You could see in infrared, ultraviolet, radar. It's like a superpower situation.
Do you know how much
Now,
money?
the superpower situation thing is crazy. Okay, but you know what really blew my mind is it says right to the visual cortex. Yeah. What Elon Musk has just announced is that they already have the technology to write information into your brain.
It's like coding into your brain?
Well, this means that we've talked about the neural band. And this is a hypothetical piece of technology where they don't need to perform surgery on you to be able to write to your brain. That's advanced. Right now, what they do with Neuralink is they give you an implant that puts like electrodes onto your brain and then writes to it. This is crazy. We've had read technology for a long time. That is, Elon and Neuralink have hooked up these electrodes to pig brains and then read the data off the brain, and then they've been able to track things like blood pressure and stuff like that. But you don't even need to get someone's brain for that because you can just like strap a light to their, ankle or whatever. Right technology is where it gets scary because this is where they can give you experiences, they can give you memories. This is where if you get the implant and they plug a thing in your brain, they can make you experience snowboarding in Aspen.
Total Recall shit.
Yep.
Crazy.
And where it gets really crazy is if they can figure out how to write to the brain wirelessly, that's when every human adopts technology. Now, that being said, I think we're, in the next 10 years, Neuralink video games, implants will be substantially more ubiquitous. And I'm going to tell you this right now, man. Every liberal is going to be like, give me the implant in 2 seconds.
He's talking about, infrared and night vision and stuff.
Oh, it's Ghost in the Shell stuff.
You know how much money I spent on my night vision? And now they're talking about, a plug-in? Man.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, you got to go see the Odyssey in IMAX. I can just watch it here.
Dude,
I can just watch
think
it
about how much liberals don't like being themselves, right?
Yeah.
And now you can say, listen, you get the surgery, and then you can plug something into your brain, and it will make you experience the world as if you were a different body. Or you can just go into a virtual reality and be in a different body and experience, touch, smell, see, and hear as if you are.
In reality, all you do is you get plugged in and it makes you not an insufferable whiny.
I think it's going to be like a Ready Player One in real life situation.
Yeah, but even Ready Player One was just haptic feedback with goggles.
But it would be the same lifestyle idea. We probably would fall into this weird dystopia when everyone's just living in this virtual reality.
Bro, I just want to be Chinese for like 15 minutes. See what it's like.
Are you really in you're in a really Chinese time of your life right now?
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. You just like
but you know what's gonna happen?
The hat's on. You just chill with everyone.
What's gonna happen is you're gonna get the brand new Neuralink, and you're gonna be like, this is awesome. Like I just wanted to be Chinese for like 15 minutes. You're gonna put it on, and then you're gonna teleport, and you're gonna be like holding a wok, and you're gonna be like, this is great. Yeah. And then you're gonna look in the mirror, and you're gonna be this like total stereotypical Chinese guy, and be like, I like this so much. And then all of a sudden, you're gonna feel a sharp pain in the side of your head, and then you're gonna be like, ow, what was this? Disengage VR. I say disengage VR. What happened? And then you're trapped. And then it turns out Elon locked everybody in the Neuralink. And now everybody's trapped. And you're like, no, I don't want to be Chinese longer than 15 minutes. And it's forever.
Everyone's just like Giga Chads and I'm just Chinese.
I just want to stress. I hope that was the longest I've done the offensive Asian accent, but I'm allowed to do it. And the funny thing is, like Shane Gillis, isn't that what he got fired for?
Probably.
for doing some like me talk a record this or whatever.
Yeah.
The funny thing is like no one's ever attacked me for it because I'm Asian. You know, like I'm allowed.
That was more of like a Yoda impression.
His was
The last one.
But
yeah,
you just
talk a record this.
Yeah.
She doesn't know what
like
she's talking about.
you go in and you're just like
not what
you're
Yoda
just like
sounds
chopping up like you got like a pan you got like a panda.
I'm
with
old,
you.
I know.
Oh no, that's Jar Jar Binks. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, there we go.
You're a carrot.
You get to squat down and smoke and like no one judges. Like that's the bet. Like I do it for 15 minutes and I'd be like,
And then like 20
Then I
years
don't-
later, like your body is just decayed like bones and rot, but your brain was uploaded, and now you've just been this Chinese guy for like you're an immortal Chinese guy in the server, and you're walking around with this panda next to you, just like
yeah, just snapping together iPads all day.
looting. No, I was gonna say you had a sword and you were just killing people, and they're digital, so they respawn. But
I want to see like
like-
the suicide nets that like bounce you back in.
Now you're gonna end up in like 1964 China,
bro,
during
no,
the,
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
hey,
During Mao's
craziest
revolution.
thing that's going to happen to you is you're going to be like, I'll play Minecraft with my boys. You know, like you'll put on the Neuralink and you'll be like in Minecraft, but you'll be you. You'll be like normal.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all of a sudden you'll see like this carrot walk up to you, like a carrot with arms and legs. And you're going to be like, what? Hello? And it's going to be like, Tate, it's me, John. I don't know how to tell you this, but I've always been a carrot. I just couldn't express myself. Do you accept me for who I am?
personally, I'm gonna be very bigoted towards Blockhead Tate. I'm letting you know right now. If you go into the Minecraft
dude.
world,
No, like
it's bad in that server that I was playing on. There's swastikas like everywhere. Like I think you had just walked in and I saw one. I was like,
I walked up and he's playing Minecraft. I was like, all right.
yeah. And
I didn't catch the swastika, but
She walked in and Tate was drawing the swastika.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is like I'm Hindu now.
you'd have known if she had because she'd have tossed a Roman
it's
out.
backwards
Yeah.
actually. It's the same way around, but
Yeah, I'm just like it's that 2-week Minecraft phase. I'm trying to soak in every moment for like you don't touch it for another 2 years.
But my point with the Neuralink stuff is that if you think the trans stuff right now is going too far, wait till you get Neuralink. There's going to be a guy who's going to like you and your buddy's going to walk up to you and be like, "Tate, I don't know how to tell you this, but I've always identified as a potato, and I'm going to live in Neuralink full time now as a potato, so I can be my true self."
well, but that would be crazy because then they could essentially just rewrite their previous memories, right? So like they could just be like, you know what, I was a girl all along. Press a button, and then you just rewrite your entire childhood.
Well, it's going to be crazier than that. I mean, like, think about what they're going to do with prisons. I got a question for you guys. We can give someone the death penalty, or we can totally rewrite their brain to make them a good, God-fearing Christian who just wants to go go to work and go to church.
Well, I mean, ostensibly, if you can rewrite their personality, then I guess
Zero recidivism.
The moral thing to do would be to rewrite their personality.
Zero recidivism. The guy's going like, no, you can't do this. And they plug it into his brain and he gets, it's not the death penalty, it's the purge penalty. And then they're like uploading the new personality. No, you sons of,
Well, you know, if I was
sorry about that.
If I was,
I can't believe I used that language.
If I was Ian Cross, and I'd say, well, you know, you're kind of killing the old guy, but you're birthing a
that's
new
what
guy.
I was gonna make an argument.
Yeah, like, well,
Like
you're,
that.
Make
you know,
Chinese.
okay, Ian.
No, wait, hold on. You get like some MS-13 gangbanger, and he like killed a bunch of people, and he's like, F you can't do this to me. And they're like, upload the program. And then the executioner, the purge guy goes, oh no, I put in the wrong program. All I did was make him Chinese. I didn't actually rewrite his personality. So then he's just still an MS-13 gang member. But hey, talk a racket this from now on.
Nobody takes him seriously.
Yeah, that would suck.
You know, he's still a murderer, so he goes on a spree because no one actually gives him any
What you
respect.
do is like, you get like a Chicago gangbanger, and you're like, you've been sentenced to get gender dysphoria. And so they just,
That's what I
they
would
give,
say, too.
they don't actually, like they rewrite your brain so you just have, you have dysphoria now and you're just miserable.
Dude,
It's
you
like,
do not
Oh,
want
I
to be
hate
that.
my dick.
You do not want to be.
what did you do?
If you're the first one to fall asleep at the sleepover and your boys give you gender
Oh,
dysphoria, you'd be cooked. You wake up like,
it's-
I gotta.
You fell asleep with your shoes on.
That's what it.
That's the rule. If you fall asleep with your shoes on,
Oh yeah. No, dude. Yeah, you do not want to be the first guy falling asleep. You wake up, you're Chinese, you're trans.
and then you're like, uninstall this. I don't want to be trans. And they're like, bro, I don't know how to uninstall it.
Yeah, dude.
Like all we know how to do is upload. We don't know how
We
to
got
delete.
drunk. We like shoved a Dorito in the USB port, so you're stuck like that. You're done.
I don't know that would be the more moral thing to do because then you do snatch away all free will, basically.
Well, they're not very responsible with that free will. So
I'm well aware, but then they should get
it's gonna get
penalized
crazy,
for
dude, like-
the actual actions of their free will.
Like some dude gets into a fight with his wife, and then she's like, "I've had enough of this. I want a divorce." And he like pins her down, and then he like sticks the USB into her head. And she's like, "Stop, stop!" And then he's like, "Delete past 24 hours." She's like, "Ah!" And she wakes up. What's happening? You fell, honey. You bumped your head.
Oh, that's a new
Factory reset.
new version of
Just Men in
Stockholm
Black.
syndrome.
factory.
So this is like Ghost in the Shell in the anime. In the future, people have cyberized their brains and they have wireless communications now, and so there are people who can hack your brain and make you see things.
It's terrifying. Two different people. That's annoying. That's terrifying.
So it's really cool in the Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. There's a criminal they're looking for called the Laughing Man, and when they go to witnesses, and they're like, "Can you please tell us what he looked like?" And they're like, I can't remember. And they're like, draw us a picture. And they draw this weird, like, smiley face with a Salinger quote around it. And they're just like, that's what he looked like. And they're like, that's not a person. And they're like, what? I don't know. He just hacks their brains.
Dude, he's like, I keep getting hacked. I keep having these like gay thoughts, dude. I'm definitely getting hacked. So weird, dude.
Well, here's the crazy thing. What if you're like walking down the street and then some dude hacks you to be gay?
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Yeah, the hack. Yeah, dude, that'd be nuts.
Well, then.
Oh, the hack. That's why.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
Neuralink. It's like,
Honey, don't know I was hacked.
No, you saw the Elon video, dude. They're like hacking people. It's crazy. Dude, AI is crazy.
But then you could rewrite your brain to.
No
be
kung
straight
fu.
as well.
To be not trans. Yeah. See, that's the cure. When you get people who are like dysphoric, you can be like, we can just erase it. You know what they're going to say? They're going to say no.
That's exactly right, though.
Yeah, but there's something
like,
like,
no.
the pro-fat people, and then Ozempic dropped, and they're like, actually, like, I'm just gonna cut weight.
Yeah.
It could be. It's gonna take a handful of celebrities to just be like, no, I'm not trans anymore. I rewrote my brain to be normal straight.
I think it's gonna get wild because people are going to like video games in the future are gonna be like
your brain?
like Roy and Rick and Morty. You guys see that? Mm-hmm. So they go to an arcade, and Morty puts on the helmet, and then it makes him a human named Roy, and he lives a full life as this guy who, like, he's the football star, and then to him he experiences 70 years. Everyone around him is just watching him play an arcade game, and then he's like zonked out, and then he comes out and he's like, where's my wife? I'm Morty. Hey, wait a minute. So it's like, that's what's gonna happen is what's really gonna happen is that Tate, you're going to wake up on your couch and you're actually like a 70-year-old fat black woman playing Tate. And it's a video game where you play as Tate Brown.
That'd be insane.
How much time actually goes by in the real world then if you've lived 70
15
years?
minutes.
Yeah, okay.
You guys ever seen that
That's
YouTube channel? It's like Lad Bible, but like they do interviews with people. This one guy like was in a coma, had like twin daughters in this coma. He thought he was in there for like a long time. Then he woke up and he didn't have kids.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, seriously, it's wild.
There's a bunch of stories like that, actually. There was one story where a guy smoked a bunch of salvia.
Those guys deserve it. Those guys deserve to be
The drug. And then he zonked out.
Good.
And then when he came to, he was like, where's my family? And he claimed he had lived 40 years and he had like 3 kids and a wife.
I think all those stories are like BS. So the guy's like, oh, I lived a whole lifetime as a lamp. It's like, okay.
I was a lamp.
Yeah, I'm like,
That's what
people
Sally
say
will
this.
do.
Yeah, people, I was a ceiling fan for 30 years. I'm like, dude, yeah, these are real stories you see, and it's like, oh, I saw a guy said it on a podcast, so it's true. I'm like, dude, you deserve whatever thing bad happens to you while you're on salvia, you deserve that.
The government
doing drugs. No, straight edge, bring it back.
You deserve to
in the future, you're gonna get podcasts that intentionally tell you stupid things so that you harm yourself to just get you out of the gene pool. Like that's the real fascist state. They're like,
that's the red pill.
The podcast is like, eating paint is actually good. Don't eat paint, guys.
Yeah.
But then stupid people are like, wow, like if Candace Owens came out and told people to drink a gallon of paint, they would.
Yep. It's crazy how her fans are.
That'd be so fun.
I'm actually really jealous. I'm really jealous of Candace Owens because she claims she has superpowers. And I would much rather do a show where we just lived in a fake world where we all pretended to have superpowers.
You should do that for.
I would be like, Tate, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10. I'm going to transmit that number into your mind right now. I want you to say that number.
69.
That's correct. It was actually, what's remarkable is I said it was 1 through 10, but I tricked you because it was actually 69 to prove that I actually transmitted it to his mind, and he said the number. So to everybody listening, this proves that I am psychic.
Serial numbers are gone. There's 15 different countries collaborated. It's crazy.
Could you imagine just how fun that would be to just be have a dedicated audience who genuinely thinks that you can astral project and that Charlie Kirk had electromagnetic powers?
Dude,
guys,
you know how much
she claims? Oh, guys, she has claimed on numerous occasions that Charlie Kirk had electromagnetic powers.
Yeah.
She's rewriting in real time.
We'd be moving pool water like it's nothing, dude. We'd be like by the truckload every day.
I knew Charlie, and as far as I could tell, he did not have electromagnetic powers, but you know, I don't take away the magic from you guys, so let's just say he did.
So ridiculous.
Yeah. That's amazing. And her fans are like, yes. It's so wild.
They eat it up.
I think, you know, maybe we just got to roll with it. Like, you know, now when I know someone's lying, I'll just make up a reason why I know they're lying. You're like, what was it? Krasenstein said we should ban assault rifles because the guy had an AR-15. I'm going to read his mind. Yep. Oh, nope. He's in his mind. I'm hearing his thoughts. He's saying, I know I'm intentionally lying and I'm trying to steal political power.
That is legitimately a bit you should do on one of the shows. Like every day, the 4 o'clock show is Tim reads retards' minds.
Tim Soothsayer hour.
No, I think you should.
Should I do this in the next debate with a liberal that I do?
Say that. That's
I'm just going to be like, well, I have psychic powers. I'm going to read your mind. Whoa. That's inappropriate. Oh, you admitted you were lying in your mind.
Yeah.
That proves it.
Yeah.
And then you're also gay.
and
yeah, but to be
you're
fair, most liberals are going to be like, well, the last part was true.
Yeah.
So.
Well, then you can flip it on your head and just say you're actually a raging homophobic.
I'm reading your mind, and I'm going to read Tate's mind right now. Tate is imagining he is eating a Dorito Locos taco.
It actually was like 20 minutes ago. That'd be a great show. Instead of like That's So Raven, it's That's So Gay Men. And it's just you calling people gay by like being a soothsayer. You're like, yeah, you're gay. I've seen this. And it's like every episode, no matter what.
What a dumb show, That's So Raven.
That's so
like she just like
That's
randomly
So
saw the future. Is that what it was?
It was a pretty good show. She was black.
plot?
That was the crux of it.
She was a psychic black woman.
She was black and all of her friends.
Who was that lady in the 90s? You know what I'm talking about?
The black lady from
the black psychic lady on TV.
Oh, the black lady from the...
Oh, Miss Cleo.
Yes! How did you know that? Yo, where is she
Because I'm old and I was in the 90s.
I thought this was a bit.
No.
I was going to say
black woman 90s. Oprah?
Oh, she died, dude. She died 10 years ago. Oh, that's
Who
sad.
is this person?
Miss Cleo, dude.
Didn't see that coming.
Cleo do.
She had a psychic pay per call minute service.
Oh.
1-900 numbers.
You call?
Could have used this.
I just remember the commercial.
No.
I know you did.
Yeah.
You know what you do? You know what I would do if I was like as unabashed and had an audience as dumb as Candace is? I would just be like,
The full
I have psychic powers, and I've never revealed this to anyone. But the reason I am able to run this business and have the insights that I do is because I can actually control people's minds and see the future. So, John, and you're watching me right now. John, I'm talking to you. You live in Chicago. You need to go to timcast.com and sign up right now for $10 a month. Join us. I'm talking to you, John. Just to you. And now there's some guy named John in Chicago being like, what's happening, dude? That's me. I'm John. I'm in Chicago.
There'll be multiple.
And then I just got like 16 new members to sign up.
Exactly.
You wore jeans last week. You've worn Nikes. You've
John?
been McDonald's.
Don't worry about the money. Don't worry about the money.
It's going to come back to you.
It's all going to work itself out. There's a really great bit from Penn and Teller where he's like, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 1 million. And he goes like this. All right, everybody watching right now. I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 100,000. Okay? I want you to think of that number that I have chosen in my mind, and I'm going to say it in a minute, but I really want you to focus. I want you to write it down so you know for sure, because this is going to blow your mind. You ready? 66,324. Now, most people watching the show are like, I didn't pick that number. But there's like 1 or 2 guys out there going like, holy crap, what just happened? And that was the bit. It was like a lot of what people do on TV and a lot of the way this fake psychic stuff works is just to play the odds. And if your goal is to just get a handful of people to give you money, there you go.
That's fair. Kind of should go full Miss Cleo and just be like, I do have psychic powers.
Man, is that what she's doing? Look. She kind of does look like Miss Cleo, doesn't she?
That's racist. I'm kidding.
No. I'm not saying that all black people look alike. I'm saying she kind of looks like Candace.
They do? Yeah.
She also kind of looks like
the Jenny Jones show.
If we dress her the same,
yeah.
or if she dressed the same, that sounded like I was going to dress her up. I'm not going to dress her up. She can dress herself. She's an adult woman.
Miss
Allegedly.
Cleo.
Oh, that's sad. She died of cancer. Rest in peace.
Peace.
I don't know much about her other than she had a bunch of commercials in the 90s, and everybody knew Miss Cleo.
She passed away. Candace, like, I'll take it from here. I got you.
She was a phone
Easy.
TV psychic.
I got the watch.
Fallen TV. What did she fall for? The cancer or something else?
She what?
What she what?
What?
Did it say she was a fallen TV?
What?
No, she was
Phone and TV
Oh,
psychic.
phone in TV.
Fallen
Okay.
TV psychic.
That's what I was like, what
Yeah,
happened?
she went to the dark side and used her powers for evil.
Yeah, we lost her. She was doing a tour.
Sounds like Candace.
Falls to the dark
26.
side.
Fallen. And
From 97 to 2003, she used various aliases: Ree Paris, Yuri Cleomili.
Oh.
I don't know. This lady probably, I'm going to just be honest here. This lady probably took a lot of good people's money from me. She's probably a really bad person.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to, if you're Miss Cleo, but she probably took a lot of people's money.
Generally, I think anyone that's
reading from a real psychic. Try us right now.
Yeah, this is
free.
a bad person.
Your father
I'm sorry.
had a stroke at a young age, did he not?
Right.
She's using tarot
Did
cards.
you get strep throat a great deal in your late teen years?
Yes, I did.
Okay. His eyes are almost spooky. They're so pretty.
That would be my ex-boyfriend.
The 5 of swords is next to him, and that means that he is away.
Yep.
Did you think Cleo wasn't going to see that?
Oh, I knew you were.
Oh,
Oh, I
This
knew
is
you.
Candace
Girl.
Owens. This is the Candace.
probably about 240 pounds, right?
Right.
He is married to that one too, and him fool around even more than the other one does.
And him
Okay,
fool
you know
around.
that.
with an-
Even
He doesn't even
Jamaican?
live in the same
Yeah,
area
probably.
anymore. He moved, didn't he?
Oh my God, yeah.
Miss Cleo,
There's
Miss
one that you
CEO.
guys like-
I mean, it's like right there. This is
1-800.
like, this is a bit. Way to go.
she was born in L.A.
It tracks.
Yeah.
Okay, but she was raised in a Catholic Afro-Caribbean family.
Oh.
Weren't we?
I'm sorry though, but like when you grow up in Alhambra, California, you don't talk like this. You know what I mean?
Him have.
These days you might.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, I had to retrain myself from speaking like that, but
Yeah, because you're from SoCal, and everyone around
I'm
you
actually
is
from Northern California, but yeah, well, for the purposes of
Next
I'll
thing you
talk
make
like
fun of for my-
that.
Where in Northern California?
Oh, Northern California. That's
Greater
Southern
Sac
California.
area.
My Afro-Caribbean accent got me picked on so much.
Should we call Miss Cleo's number? See if it's.
I was
still-
thinking that.
Oh, it's
See if
Candace.
it's still alive.
She just goes. She's like, "Hello," and you're like, "Candace." She's
Can-
like, "Who's this?" And you hang up like, "What?"
It's Miss CEO.
Candace should take over the number.
I'm
This
literally.
would be a good career move for her. I'm
Candace.
just saying.
I got the watch.
I just, I mean it when I say like, I wish I could live in this world where I'm like, I was hanging out with Charlie and he was able to control the energy around us and could turn the lights on and off with his mind. And we would astral project together and travel through time.
Just the eye rolls. Just
It's really remarkable when she was like, I think Charlie was a time traveler, and she means it.
God.
And her audience loves it. They're like, whoa.
Like that is the thing. I'm like,
They're in
look,
so deep
no matter
now,
how
too.
culty somebody can get, and like, I mean, we've seen plenty of examples of cults throughout the years, and the crazy things that they can convince people of. But the second that you get to the supernatural kind of stuff, I'm like, don't you lose people?
No, we're going for it. All right.
the shark.
Tate is from the year 2143.
Yeah.
And what happened was I traveled to the future to get. I was trying to age a pan so that it would appear when I brought it back. It was 100 years old, and then sell it. But Tate watched and went through the portal behind me, and now he's trapped.
Oh no.
What it is.
stuck here.
And in the future, everyone's gay.
Tate's the oldest man in America.
Yeah, it's.
And that's how humanity dies.
The Republican Party has plenty of staffers available. The senators are very happy in the future. They have plentiful amounts of gay staffers for them.
I made wine and then traveled 100 years in the future to collect it, now having it aged 100 years, which would probably make it worthless and disgusting, by the way, right?
I don't know.
Like 100-year-old
I haven't done
wine,
that
probably-
before, so.
I mean, I think they
I
have
haven't tried it out myself.
old
Probably
wines.
disgusting.
I mean, you
fermented.
just do that. You just get like some nice scotch or something like that.
Barrel-aged whiskey.
Gosh, that would suck. If I got 100 years ago, they'd be like, oh, well, so who wins next year's World Series? I'd be like, oh, Okay, well, at least like what stock's gonna perform well in the 1930s?
I can only do 100.
None of them.
None.
Sell everything.
Buy gold.
Yeah. Also, there's been another war. Like what? With who? I'm like,
Actually, no.
you're not gonna believe this. There's one after
Everybody.
this.
Sell all your stocks, and you should sell gold too, because they're gonna mine an asteroid, and all the gold's gonna be worthless.
Yeah.
Drag.
Well, they're gonna fabricate gold.
Yeah, they'll just be able to manipulate atoms.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. You'd have to be able to manipulate subatomic particles because atoms. Gold is an element. So.
Yeah, Tate has the ability to move
things
milk
with his mind.
With his mind.
Only milk.
Yeah.
Does that? So considering your ability,
Lactokinesis.
can you like churn butter faster?
Oh, the Amish love me. I crush with the Amish.
You're in luck. I actually have a jug. No, I'm kidding.
Carter's real name is Eobard.
Eobard is my name.
It's a Dutch name.
Yeah.
Is it? It is Dutch.
Is it?
All right, we're going to go to your rants and chats and all that stuff. So smash the like button, share the show with your mom. Call your mom. You haven't called your mom in a long time. Jim, come on. You haven't called your mom. You got to call her. It's been like, what, 2 weeks?
James, listen. Call your mom.
Jimmy, what's going on, dude?
Jimmy.
Terry, get it.
And Chuck, I know you're watching. You didn't show up on Sunday, man. We lowered the stakes for you. What are you doing? That one's actually for Chuck. Come on.
Sure. Come on, Chuck.
I was going to say, you're
Come on,
give,
Chuck.
You're going to give Charlie a coronary. Oh, my God, Tim's talking about
What's
me.
the crap?
Coronary. All right, what do we got? Let's grab some of these Rumble rants and chats. The uncensored portion is coming up at 10 p.m. You don't want to miss it. All right, I can't actually read. It's not letting me read the username. Let me see if I can get the. Nope. Only a shotgun with birdshot is effective against drones. Actually, you know what? I got a bunch of ideas for businesses. I just got to do them. One of them is net canisters. So 44 millimeter. Is it 40 millimeter or 40?
40 well,
40 millimeter?
You can get 37 millimeter, and they're not regulated by the ATF. If you get a 40 millimeter tube, it's regulated.
So do 37.
37.
And what they do is they shoot thin, frail netting, and you can load six cylinders, so it rotates. That way, when the drone's coming at you, go boom. It hits a net, knocks them out of the sky before they get close to you. That's one of the most effective ways to stop them. But if they're carrying explosives, you're still going to get hurt. So you'll need a ballistic shield, too. It's crazy stuff in the drone warfare. Case in Point Podcast says, what are you talking about, Tim? I burned my own CDs when I was a teenager. I'm 23. I didn't have any money for an iPod, but you could get blank CDs for free and burn music on a library or computer. Yeah. Don't get me, like, sure. And like in late 90s, we had cassette tapes, too. But I had a CD player, you know.
Yeah, I was on CDs, so probably like, I think I got an iPod when I was like 10.
You know what we used to do?
It was a little later, but
is we'd have a stereo with a cassette in it, and then you'd hear like you'd be listening to the radios like Q101 in Chicago, and you'd hear, and we'd be like, oh, it's on. You'd run over and hit record, and you'd get The Day I Tried to Live by Soundgarden, but like minus the first 6 seconds. Yep. But it's okay because then we had the song.
I got Jimmy Eat World that way, the middle.
Yeah. And then what you'd do is you'd put 2 in, press play on one and record on the other, and then give it to your friend. And then sometimes you'd have a friend who would just press record and wait for the song and go like, we got it. Mm-hmm. And that's how you got music. And then you'd make mixtapes by timing it perfectly and then hitting record and stop.
The best thing was when they had request shows and you'd call in and they'd actually talk to you. So you'd hear yourself talking and you could know when to hit record.
Yeah.
Because they did the whole intro.
Yep.
I'm Jimmy from blah, blah, blah. Play the song. You know.
Yeah, or all that. If you're the 17th caller, you're going to win a free ticket. And then you'd call in and they'd be like, you're number 16, bye, click. Like, no. I never understood how it was possible, but I once won. But it was just our song. They were like, 15th caller, pick a song. And like, I called in and he was like, you're the 15th caller. What song do you want to listen to? And I was like, I want to listen to Death Cab for Cutie. And they were like, let's do it. And I was like really surprised that Q101 would ever play Death Cab because they only ever played Stone Temple Pilots. But they did.
I remember when I was a kid, I called into a radio station. We lived in Indiana, and I requested out of all the songs, it was like a soft rock channel that like would always play in our garage, and I requested them to play Star Wars. I was so little. I was just like, can you just play Star Wars? And they're like, yeah, sure. Anyway, I wish someone maybe has a I don't know, probably not, but the small radio station that plays soft rock, and there's like a 7-year-old calling and asking them to play Star Wars.
This is important. Patriot Paladin says there were scooters before Razor. They had 10-inch wheels and were huge in the 80s. So much so that NKOTB rocked them, but you're right, scooters are trash. Scooters existed. Scooters weren't invented by Razor. The point I'm bringing up is that skateboarding was a bunch of random dudes invented a weird object to go ride around the streets and started making tricks. Bikes exist, and people took them and started iterating and trying to make tricks. Scooters existed. Nobody really cared to do tricks. Then they made these cheap, low-quality trash scooters that parents went to Walmart to buy their kids. I'm not trying to be a dick, but this is how it happened. And then those kids started riding around on scooters because they didn't have access to the other cultures. So the way I look at it is it's like scooters represent the corporatization of, like, it was the normieization of action sports. Like, rollerblades weren't designed for grinding, and this is why I respect rollerblades. What they would do is they would take one of the wheels off so they could create a channel they could grind with. So then they were like, okay, let's design rollerblades that actually have flat soles so you can slide on the sides, and then we'll put plates where people take the wheels off. Now, modern rollerblades are, like, the industry is basically dead, but you can actually get designed for only to have 2 wheels in them, so you actually have grooves for grinding, and there's different sizes. It developed that way. People made it work. Razor scooters were just, I don't know. They were like, hey, here's a cheapo product for kids. Not a fan. But I got no beef with the skill. The skill's legit. You know, I'm just saying. El Jefe says the DNC could literally not allow them to run as Democrats, but Democrats are retarded, so. Yep.
No, Democrats endorse the policies. It's not like the DNC could, but they genuinely want all 90, maybe 95% of the Democrats out there. The House made a resolution, or they were trying to get a group of Democrats together when Mamdani won, and they were going to be like, we're pro-America, we're pro-capitalism, we just disagree with the Republicans, blah, blah, blah. Like 13 members joined. Like, most of the Democrats know which way the wind's blowing, and they're like, all right, well, I guess we're going to go ahead and throw our lot in with these guys. They're not against them at all. Most of the Democrats actually agree with them.
D. Sage Fernandez says, Tim, was it pushing the limits with Trump knee pad Brian? I don't know what that's a reference to.
Brian pushing the limits.
I understand who that is. I'm just saying, I don't understand who you're asking about in what context, because we talked about a lot of things. Was it when we were saying the left is liars and I can read their minds? I don't know.
Brian's just a tool.
It just disturbs says for every, he says, every 10 or 11-year-old boy now is super based, like little old men. They don't care what you think. 2 years ago, my son Paul made a video about how the government wants to take everyone's money. LOL.
Smart kid.
Commodore fan says, the rare times I listen to local radio is during bad weather with power outages to get local info and cell towers are screwed up. Otherwise, it's Android Auto in my car for YouTube Music or TuneIn Premium. Exactly. When I get my Honda, instantly my phone kicks on and it's Pandora. It's just the icon's there and it presses play.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be my thumbprint radio, which is going to be a lot of 2010s indie rock and some 90s alternative. And then some modern I guess indie electronic stuff. And then when I get to my Tesla, same thing. My phone just auto connects over Bluetooth. So no radio.
No, the radio is dead.
Joshua French says Marty McFly invented the skateboard in 1955 by removing the bars from a scooter. Ha ha. Yep.
In response to that radio call, the only places that have radio stations that survived is when they have DJs that have endeared themselves with the population, right? So there's one in Wisconsin called JJO. There's one in Arizona. I forget what the 98.6, I think. They're a metal. Both of these are rock stations. I'm familiar with the people that work there. The only places that are still actually getting any kind of listener is the people that had DJs that were going out into the community doing stuff that, have fans of the DJs. And the radio stations made a big mistake thinking that DJs were just replaceable, right? Oh, it doesn't matter who's spinning the songs. People are listening because of the music, et cetera, et cetera. And there might have been a time where that was true, but nowadays, if they're the radio stations that still are viable are ones that have DJs that people care to listen to.
All right. Pims the Great says, Tim, you should check out the year on the opening scene of Terminator 2. What year is that?
2021, I think.
Oh, is that what it was?
Here.
Interesting. All right, let's grab some more. Let's see what you guys got for us. Let's see the craziest one.
I'm sorry, 2029.
Oh yeah. And they're all wrong because I've said it a million times. Like the AI is never going to be skeleton skull monsters hunting you down to kill you.
No.
It's going to be big-tittied enemy waifus that are going to convince you not to fight back. It's like the AI is not stupid enough to be like, I'm going to create a conflict that will make them fight back. The AI is going to say, what can I get them to do to make them docile, not reproduce, and then just kill themselves off?
Yeah, the Matrix is far more likely than Terminator.
You know, and to be honest, like, what was the problem with being in the Matrix?
You weren't free.
But they never really explained, like, how. It's an interesting question that was never, it wasn't explored enough. Like Cypher being like, ignorance is bliss. They did not actually explore, you know, like, would you really want to live in that desiccated, destroyed, nasty cave world eating slop?
Cypher didn't.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Here's the other thing, too. Like, you know, it doesn't make sense for Matrix. They can just plug your brain in and give you whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you an IV bag of gelatinous goo that tastes like trash, but you'll be plugged into the Matrix eating a delicious, juicy steak the whole time. In fact, you're going to get a whole steak. You're going to get a 48-ounce tomahawk or 72-ounce tomahawk. This goes nuts. And you can eat forever. Like they taught the dude kung fu, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They plugged his brain. So if they had mini Matrixes, why was Cypher pissed? Just, if you have your own mini Matrix, you can do whatever you want. I guess that should have been what was happening in Zion. People live there and work, but then once they're done working, they just plug their brains in and then they live in like a normal, like a nice place. Whatever. Also, those things they stuck in their heads were too long. Like that's not real.
It's got to connect with the brain.
All right. Marusha. My issue with pronatalists is they tend to care more about quantity over quality. A handful of A-class people can do more than 100,000 scammer and morons. Native 2%ers are still 2%ers.
That's like a really harsh way of describing one fundamental flaw with a lot of pronatal policy, which is like $5,000 for people that aren't having kids that we need to have kids, which is like middle class and up, right? That's the problem is they're not having children. $5,000 doesn't matter for them. They're not having kids for economic reasons. It's usually like spiritual issues. The people that $5,000 is enough for them to be like, okay, I'll have another kid. Those are people who actually don't really want having a lot of kids. They already have a lot of kids. Mm-hmm. So yeah, pronatalist policies when it's purely like economic to the super generous points. He's saying it in a very harsh way, but it's true. Is like it ends up just becoming like a dysgenic policy. Unfortunately, I mean, I wish it was as simple as just throw some money at it, but it's not, especially not in America.
All right. Based African says, had a thought. Thucydides' trap, but instead of countries and economic powers, it's cultural factions and political power within a country. This stemmed from the thought that much of the government marginalized groups seek to be large enough to displace responsibility and gain unchecked power. You know what the left is right about? The United States takes what it wants. We're the biggest, we're the strongest, we're the smartest. We take whatever we want. And the left was like, yeah, why don't we just do that? That's it. Like, what is the justification for the United States controlling global oil supplies or the petrodollar?
Well, I mean,
we're better.
Yeah. Well, and legitimately, okay, so in human history, there has never been a society with as much power, military power, that did not use it or used it as
restrained
way that the United States does. If you gave the Mongols nuclear weapons, like what do you think he would have done, Genghis Khan would have done with tanks? I mean, the Germans obviously weren't responsible with them. Mm-hmm. You know, like you look throughout history, and there has never been a society that had the capability to wreak havoc that the United States does, and the reservation about using that power. So that, right, and I know people are going to say, oh, well, this war and that war and blah, 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 the U.S. is always at war. And the U.S. has done plenty of military actions to protect its interests. But the capability that the United States has to just like annihilate countries if they wanted to, if the military wanted to, or if the government wanted to, it is completely obvious to anyone that takes a serious look that every single administration in the United States has ever had was incredibly benevolent and very reserved in their use of power compared to any society in history. So that's right there is evidence that the United States is responsible with the power that it has, and that's why the United States should be the global hegemon. Take that. So,
what do we got here? We got SXDX says it'll lead to something like cyberpunk. There will be black market doctors who will hack your brain chips to fix you again. I wonder.
I mean, what do you mean by fix you again?
I don't actually think people with brain chips will actually care about being fixed in reality, right? So I would imagine if you went to a trans person and said, we can rewrite and eliminate the dysphoria from your brain, or put you in a virtual reality where you will just be the opposite gender. They're going to be like, yeah, virtual reality.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, oh, no, don't rewrite my brain. It's like, well, we can cure you. You'll just be happy with who you are. I'm like, no. You know? All right, everybody, we're on the uncensored portion of the show. So smash the like button, share the show with your mother. Call her and say, Mom, come watch the show with me. You can follow me on X and Instagram at Timcast. Priya, do you want to shout anything out?
Hi, Mom. I'm kidding. You can follow me on pretty much all the platforms except OnlyFans and any related platforms. My username is my first name, Priya, Priya, followed by 2 E's. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, you can follow me on X and Instagram at RealTapeBrown. And we'll be back tomorrow at noon on Rumble, live for the Timcast Daily News live show. So I'll see you guys there.
I am Phil That Remains on Twix. You can check out my Patreon where I write about a lot of the stuff that we talk about here. It's patreon.com/Phil That Remains. The band is All That Remains. You can check out the band's music at Apple Music, Amazon Music, Pandora, YouTube, Spotify, and Deezer. And if you are in Orlando, All That Remains is going to be playing the Orlando Warped Tour coming up in November. So you can go to warptour.com to get your tickets. Don't forget, the left lane is for crime, Carter.
I'm Carter Banks. You can follow me at Carter Banks on X and at Carter Banks Official on Instagram. Record labels at Trash House Records on YouTube. Be sure to check it out. Priya, thanks for coming. Always a pleasure. Let's get into the after show.
We'll see you all over at rumble.com/TimcastIRL right now. Thanks for hanging out.